Hey, this is the Giant Bombcast for August 4th, 2020. It's a Tuesday. Ben Pack has got a horrified look on his face.
I forgot it was Tuesday.
What does it mean?
I was just here.
Every 7 days, what, you just wandered in?
Yeah, I always have this link open, and just in case any of my friends want to pop in, record a podcast.
You sleepwalked your way, walked your way in here? What's the past tense of sleepwalk?
Sleepy strolled.
You sleepy strolled your way in here.
That's right.
Hopped into this video chat. Jan Ochoa?
That's me. I tied up my hair because it was just in my face.
I didn't want to bring it up because some people don't watch the video version of this thing, but I'm not sure I was ready for the escalation in the hair game this week.
Brad, I was like this close to just shaving it all off this morning.
No, you have to stay strong, man.
Okay.
Solidarity in people not getting haircuts.
You should bleach it.
I want to bleach it. I want to dye my hair, but then I'm afraid that my hair won't be the same.
Maybe just some frosted tips. Sounds like USgamer's Caty McCarthy joining us. Sounds like you've got some potential hair bleaching in your...
Yeah, my partner mentioned it, that he wanted to bleach his hair, and I think I talked him out of it, but honestly, everyone just grow your hair out. Don't cut your hair in quarantine. That's kind of defeating the purpose in a way. Like, I'm just letting my hair grow out.
What if you grow it out and also bleach it?
No, because when you bleach it, when you do home bleaching, it's going to kill your hair because bleaching always takes multiple, because I used to have bleach blonde hair, and it's a process. I had to go like 3 times to get it like healthily done, and there's no healthy way to do it.
You grow a lot of hair and then you bleach part of it, and you've got a lot to work with, and you can kind of,
tips, sure, but it looks dumb.
I would like some frosted tips, maybe.
What if I don't want to go like all the way to the root, just like maybe halfway, just like a little dip?
It's just like a stripe, like a skunk stripe.
You got plenty of margin there to work with.
Sure.
Who was that like 90s TV host with like the little tuft of like skunk?
Oh yeah,
like white hair?
Skunk Boy.
Skunk Boy, yeah. I could pull.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Original Talk Soup guy.
Yeah, the original Talk Soup guy. Jim Henson?
I don't know.
Yep, Jim Henson. That's
John Henson.
That sounds right.
Kermit the Frog. Joel McHale, all big buddies. Yeah, what's up, y'all? I don't know. I wasn't here last week. I forgot how to do a podcast. This thing almost caught on fire like 5 times before we got on here.
I thought the podcast started at 10 o'clock, and I got really freaked out for a second.
Nice. Yeah. I'm just gonna say a word. Got a little conversation starter here. I know it's been on people's minds. Blaseball?
Blaseball.
Blaseball?
Blaseball.
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 Blaseball? Not Blaseball?
I said Blaseball.
Blaseball.
Blaseball?
Blaseball.
Is this the fighting game you play, Ben?
No, that's Blue Ball. Blaseball
Strive coming to PS4 this fall. What the fuck is Blaseball?
Okay.
I feel like I've seen nothing but people tweeting about it, and yet I could not intuit a single thing about it.
At its core, Blaseball is, so there's 20 teams. You go to blaseball.com, you make an account, and you pick your favorite team. There's like 20 teams. They all have names like the Seattle Garages, the Boston Flowers. I am personally a Breckenridge Jazz Hands guy.
Ben, you're not rooting for the home team, the San Francisco Lovers?
Yeah, the Lovers?
No, I'm not really big on San Francisco sports anymore. I've moved to the East Bay. I gotta rebel against.
And there's no East Bay teams. There's so much.
Wait,
there's
I don't even know where Breckenridge is, and I'm not gonna look it up.
Is that something you can actually do midstream around here? Like you move across the bay and you just like swap allegiances like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, look, the Niners abandoned us. The Warriors moved out of Oakland. I'm just feeling really betrayed by Bay Area.
It's the Golden State Warriors.
The Raiders are gone.
So much disrespect.
I can't put my trust in a Bay Area sports team anymore. But you choose your team and you get some money. You get like $250 to start, and you can bet on the games. And games happen on the hour, every hour, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday is the playoffs. And so every season is a week. And that's kind of the core of Blaseball.
So it's gambling?
It is, yeah, it's all fake money and stuff. But then like the real appeal, so basically like that's been done before, there's like salty bet and there's plenty of ways to get your rocks off by betting on fake stuff. But what hooked me on Blaseball is the kind of the meta layer around it, where so I don't even know how to really get into it, but basically at the end of every week people can vote. And first of all, you have to buy your voting rights, which is 100 coins. So you have to start making money there. But then fans kind of choose the rules. And so one of the first rules that the fans chose was to open a forbidden book. And upon doing that, we entered the discipline era. And so every once in a while, umpires just vaporize players. And those players are dead for real and forever. And they get placed, a substitute gets placed on. Or like, recently, peanuts were voted as the thing, and all it said was like peanuts, not what was going to happen with peanuts, but basically, when the peanuts thing started happening, any players that were allergic to peanuts had a chance to get hit by a peanut and die. And then there's on top of that, like player specific stuff, like you can have like somebody on your team get a gunblade arm, which will increase their hitting stats, and there's just all this weird meta stuff around Blaseball that is very appealing.
So it's basically the XFL for baseball.
It's
instead of the XFL, it's like the Microsoft Excel of baseball.
Okay.
Because if you've ever taken part in fantasy football or like fantasy baseball, a lot of like these stats or like the game is just constantly going, and you're just watching like, oh, this person got a strike. It's a ball. All right, they're out. Bases are loaded, et cetera, et cetera. And then I win or I lose. And like the actual games of baseball, they take like how long, Ben?
Like 40 minutes.
40 minutes. And it goes like the full 9 innings if, stuff isn't interrupted by the weather or, the umpire vaporizing players.
Is there anything to watch there? Can you see people being vaporized?
You can. I mean, it's all text. It's all just like you can watch the feed of the game, and so like right now it says foul ball 0-2, which is for a random game, and then hit a ground out to Thomas England, stuff like that. And then like even beyond the weird meta layer of like these rules and stuff, there is an even larger layer where like. So I wonder. The only bummer about Blaseball right now is it's pretty unstable. It crashes a little bit. I think it's because it like blew up in a way that the commissioner who created the site wasn't expecting it to. But they're playing with that, where like somebody found an exploit on the peanut system, and basically as punishment, or because the site was getting a ton of 502 requests and people couldn't load into it, they just had this giant spinning peanut come up on the homepage, and it said like, you're all shamed. You know what you did. The cheaters must come forward if you want Blaseball to continue. It's just a weird, fun thing that feels like it's one of those things that like it's a social experience to me. Like what's fun about it is like the people talking about it on Twitter, being on the Discord about it. Like the Discord is fun because the watch party room is for all 10 games. So you have people talking about all 10 games at the same time in one channel. So it's just this weird flood of text. It's something really fun to have open in another tab, like while you're doing whatever. It's
basically like a clicker. Like I feel like I'm getting the same enjoyment from it as I would like a clicking game. It's totally. Just very passive, like engaging in like this weird, not very active way. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just like this very strange thing that I just have open in a tab all the time.
And you can treat it like a clicker because like, passively, if your team wins, you get a little bit of money, but then there's items that'll increase so that you can buy potions that increase the money you get when your team passively wins. That's how I've been doing it lately. I'm just like not betting because I can't fucking win a bet because I keep betting on the favorites. I bet on the favorites every time and I feel like I lose every time. So
wait, is that
I don't
the
know,
actual
maybe
team name, the favorites?
It very well could be.
I would believe
Santa Fe favorites.
It could be a name.
That sounds like cheating, but it's like stacking the deck a little bit. I went to the site, and at the top there is a little graphic, and I can't tell if it's a ticket or a razor blade. And I don't know if that's intentional or not.
It's probably a ticket.
Yeah, I figured, but you never know.
And like if you
That's
go to the
true.
rules page, it's like just tons of redacted text. It's like a fun little ARG thing, you know. It's part of the fun of Blaseball is not having any idea what's going on in Blaseball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Very, very much so. Like if you look under the rules, you go to 4G, and with all the redacted text, the rule winds up reading: once the ball's in play, immaterial plane. I have
Sure.
no idea what that
Okay.
could mean. And you know, in a time where baseball right now is kind of boring, this is like a good.
Baseball's always boring.
baseball-
No offense
I
to baseball.
love baseball.
Does baseball still exist?
Baseball's like the most
Yeah.
boring sport.
I almost
Baseball
bought
is
a
a
cutout.
thinking man's sport. You have to. It's all about matchups and
Stats and probabilities and number
Fuck yeah.
crunching.
I don't know. I grew up in a baseball household, and so I got.
I was
very
always
used to it.
basketball. That's always been my
That
sport of
sounds way
choice.
more exciting. I wish. I wish.
Basketball is
liked
fun.
basketball.
Same.
It's so easy to follow and it's fun to watch. Baseball, you just sit there for a long time.
Yeah.
Baseball,
I
the
don't know.
only
Garlic fries.
yeah.
Watching
Actually,
a home
the
run.
overpriced
A's is cool.
beers.
The A's stadium is cool, or the Coliseum. Like that's a cool place to go. I went there for like a Star Wars fireworks night once. That was fun.
What about the Coca-Cola slide at Oracle Park?
That's fun to wait in line for 3 innings and you get to miss a third of the game.
What do you do on that?
You just slide down.
Slide.
Mhm.
A fun slide.
Where's
Don't you like slide down it on like a potato bag, or do you just do it
You just do it like just
raw
raw.
dog?
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. But thank you, Beth.
Oh, don't say
Literally
why
the
would
only
you
word.
say that?
Literally the only applicable word there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have y'all been keeping up with any televised sports? Have you seen any of the virtual crowd nonsense that they've got?
Oh, I've seen
some
clips.
I've seen some choice clips going around of
Like literal clips
Yeah.
of clipping happening, like athletes clipping into the crowd.
stuff going real well. It seems like
It's after seeing the evolution of wrestling adapting during this quarantine of going from no crowds to fake crowds now in baseball, seeing actual paper cutouts of people, it's interesting.
all right.
It's
Last
a weird mix.
last question about Blaseball. The most important question about any shared cultural touchstone. Is it over? Is it too late to get in? Did I miss my
It's
window?
just beginning.
Okay. Like,
I
feel
worry.
I feel like it's
if
been like a week, and I was like, oh no, I am. It's supremely uncool if I'm only getting into this now. I might as well not bother.
I'm worried if it's scaling too fast. You know, like I feel like I joined like a week and a half ago, and there was maybe like 500 people in the Discord, and now there's like 4 times that amount. Like it's definitely accelerating at a faster rate than I expected. Well, I mean, not that I expected. I guess social media makes everything bigger. But I'm wondering if it'll be like too big to keep up with in a fun like the way it is now soon, because it is like growing so fast.
Chat points out that we're not even out of the discipline era yet, so it's probably still some leeway there.
Yeah.
It's technically still a beta. Like, there's beta on the website, so
Yeah.
it's like
And they like have the commissioner put up a Patreon, you know, to help with server costs, and you can get some bonuses by signing up there. Which, like, honestly, the commissioner is doing a great job, so I support that.
Clearly,
shouts out to the commissioner.
is it a game?
Yeah.
Everybody's favorite question. Does this count as a game?
Sure.
If clickers count as games, then this counts as a game.
Yes.
All right.
That's fair. Yeah.
All right, good to know. I feel educated. All right, from one of the hottest fads of the week to the other, apparently. Jan, I know you've played some Fall Guys. Anybody else mess with that thing yet?
I'm supposed to review it, but I haven't played it yet. I'm reviewing it this week, but I've not played
I
it.
think they were not sending out review codes of that. I mean, there were beta codes out there. There were
I think it's
there
like
were a couple
launch
of,
day.
Yeah, it comes out today. I know there were a couple of like limited time kind of weekend betas and stuff, but I think they explicitly were like, we're not sending out actual proper review codes of this until release day because of servers and blah blah blah. So, but that thing seems to be blowing up all over the place.
It looks fun.
Yeah, it's really charming. Imagine if you took the game show Wipeout, or what was the American version of the Japanese version of the
American
show?
Ninja Warrior.
Sure, American Ninja
Oh,
Warrior.
Most Extreme Elimination Challenge.
Yes, MXC. And instead of one person running the course, you have about 60 people running the course at the same time.
Huh, okay.
And everyone is like these small, squiggly little like thumb people that are all super cute. And with each round, so it works kind of like a battle royale. It's the way the game is framed. It's like a super heavy game show type of deal where it starts with 60 people, and then from there, it whittles down until you get the ultimate winner. And I've yet to win, which infuriates me. But then from there, each round is like a different thing, whether it's a race, whether it's kind of like a survival thing of staying on a platform while it's spinning around. And it's just really like dumb fun right now because I have no idea who anyone else is. And sometimes like my problem with a battle royale is I have to get good at the game. Well, here I just have to just play the game and just like be there, present in it. And it's fun just seeing all these other people. Like one of the races is you have to get from point A to point B, but in between there's a bunch of like false walls and then like walls that won't move. So it's hilarious just seeing a flood of people that are ahead of you just bashing their way through a wall that doesn't work, only to see like a flood of other little thumb people getting through one area.
So this is like Wipeout, but also Trackmania from the sound of it. It's just
it's like track and field
people,
mania.
Like a bazillion people trying to do the same thing on top of each other.
Yeah. I think what the game is missing so far, I feel like it could do really well with a really cheesy host. But I mean, where the game is right now, like it's been a lot of fun. It's out on PS Plus right now, right?
Yeah,
it's a PS Plus game.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, I haven't gone particularly far. I've made it maybe to like the third round at least of Fall Guys. I've never actually gone all the way, so I don't know what their equivalent of chicken dinner is.
Okay.
But man, it's just fun. Like Wipeout, the show is fun enough, and then it's spawned off a bunch of different clones of it. But it's never really translated well to a game, perhaps. But this is like a good encapsulation of that. It also gives me, oddly enough, Monday Night Combat vibes.
Okay. God, wow, I haven't thought about that game in a while.
But I think it's just because of how much it leans into that it's a show type of deal. Because after you're eliminated, you can still totally...
does it have like a full-on game show motif going on? Is it like straight up studio audience and...
Not a studio audience.
Intro, title sequence and shit? Or
It's not Radical Heights.
Okay. I mean, what is really?
Not even Radical Heights is Radical Heights
Apparently
anymore.
Not. Oh, God.
Is there like any concept of teamwork at all, or any kind of like? Is it just everybody for themselves, like just book for the goal, or is there any like?
A couple of the mini games will divide the like existing player pool into teams, so it'll be like a Hungry Hippos type of deal of like, all right, you gotta go grab like the marble, put in your basket for your team, and then your collective score will move you on to the next round. And as far as I know, I don't think there's a specific way to pick or influence the next type of game that happens in the next round. But in the early goings, it's been a lot of like race style mini games of getting from point A to point B. And the courses, they're all pretty varied so far. I don't think I've experienced like a repeating course in between.
Yeah, that's the cool. I watched a bunch of it on Twitch. I haven't played it myself yet, but I was surprised by how much variety there is. And I think that's really one of the strongest points about it, because I could see this being very repetitive if it was like, 8 of the similar courses mixed around. But yeah.
And there is, if you win or if you, depending on how, there is like a progression thing you are leveling up. And I think so far that's only unlocking cosmetic items versus items that'll like affect the gameplay or whatever. So my little thumb guy is like decked out in a little wolf costume right now. It's pretty neat.
Do wolves have thumbs? How does that work?
Wolves, I mean, wolf. He's a wolf man, right? So he's like the thumb of a wolfman. Because like wolves mans definitely have thumbs.
I'm desperately trying to come up with a werewolf bar mitzvah joke, and I just can't put it together right now. So let's just move on. Is there any concept of like effing with people? Like, are you like,
you
seeing
could totally
opportunities
do that.
to like totally like jump in front of somebody and mess them up, or is it just everybody?
You could be a jerk that like you just act as like a physical roadblock, and then you prevent people from moving on. Like specifically with one of the races with like the false walls, there were a couple of people that were just standing their ground and jumping up and down, preventing other players from going forward.
That's gonna be me.
Okay.
There you go, team player. That's what it is.
Like I don't know if there's actually any similarities or not, but from what I've seen of it, it makes me think of Gang Beasts a little bit. It just made me
Yeah,
wonder
it
if
definitely
you
has
can,
that look.
really get in there and just like totally fuck with people or not.
It's like the same amount of messing with other players that you could do in a Mario Party mini game of like bouncing on their heads or like.
I'm out. No thanks.
Okay, all right. Not Mario Party.
You poisoned the well.
Rugrats.
Okay.
The Rugrats party game from Nintendo 64.
Okay.
Yeah. You could be like Tommy Pickles, Brad.
I was just about to say.
It's just like
Wario
a
pushed me
Mario
away,
Party.
but Tommy Pickles pulled me back in. That's good stuff. Yeah, that's out today, right? I saw some people in chat saying that the servers are on fire right now,
and they're getting review bombed for it.
Oh, good.
Stay classy, everyone.
Feedback always worthwhile.
It's not how reviews work.
Yeah. Jan, I know you've also been playing some Fae Tactics, which I had pulled up on Steam right before this, and it looks kind of cool.
I love this game, Brad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like...
Pretty good.
Well, first of all, we should establish if it actually is a tactics RPG or not, which is what it looks like. But also, if that's the case, I feel like you've been in search of one of those for a while.
I have been.
Like, you keep trying them, and they keep kind of not landing. If
After
you found the one, then I'm happy for you.
After Into the Breach, it's been a real hard struggle getting back into like a classic tactics style of game that kind of captures what I loved about Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactics Advance.
Like what was that one based on the Netflix show that we looked at?
Stranger Things.
No, not Stranger Things.
Dark Crystal.
Was it Dark
Dark
Crystal?
Crystal. Yeah, and that was actually decent enough for a bare bones tactics game, just like to turn your mind off. But Fate Tactics, it actually feels like a fully fledged tactics game where you actually have to think about stuff rather than kind of just bullishly going through the encounters.
Yeah, they're really going for that Final Fantasy Tactics
look.
Gameplay.
Like the look of it is like pixely art and all that stuff.
Yeah. And the bare bones tactics stuff of like having to position your units, back attacks to the back do more, and then after you make your move, you have to orient which way your unit is facing to prepare for an upcoming attack or whatever. But it's all like the in-between stuff that they add. Like normally in a tactics game, if like I feel like XCOM has influenced a lot of tactics games to have like an Overwatch type feature, right? But here there's wait action. So if you don't do anything with your character, they have like a wait ability. For instance, like in your beginning party, you have your main character, a dog, and like a bird frog thing. And the wait ability for your dog is kind of like a shield ability, and it's covering like a certain number of tiles. That if ally is attacked, your dog winds up taking the damage instead. Or if with your main character, if you wind up waiting, you can their next attack is a chain style attack, so they'll zip through a couple enemies if they're close enough. And on top of that, there's like Pokemon style elements, guys, where you can capture enemy units and wind up summoning them for the next battle, and you wind up leveling up those independently on top of your existing party. And within like the first hour, there was like a lot of different elements of like depth that they were throwing at you, because on top of that,
maybe a little too much, I might say.
But I love it, Ben.
I like it too. Like I really like how complex it is. I feel like they don't do a great job of explaining all of it right away. I definitely had to just kind of like bull rush through and just like kind of brute force it a little bit. I wish they maybe gave you a little, because unless I'm completely missing it, like a lot of all characters have like these abilities, and I couldn't find anywhere what the abilities actually did. Like I couldn't find, just like you couldn't hover over it and see. So I had to kind of just like, okay, I'm going to test it out in battle and kind of figure it out for myself.
Yeah. And even like the beginning encounters, like one of them was actually pretty rough from the get-go because the enemies had just wound up buffing each other up that I couldn't actually hit them. But in Fate Tactics, I don't know, y'all. It's scratching that itch because the art style is very reminiscent of Final Fantasy Tactics. And the writing has been okay so far, but it's the actual like gameplay where I feel I'm actually I actually feel like a tactician making moves, and like the dumb AI is falling into my traps all the time.
Yeah.
And also, God, why hasn't this been done in a tactics game, or at least like this style of game, where one of your ally units is a dog? Because I love this dog. I think his name is Chico, and I would die for this dog.
Pretty good. It's a pretty good dog name.
Yeah.
And you might have to. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the game. I agree with you that the writing is kind of okay. My problem more with the story, rather than the content itself, is kind of how disjointed it is, where it will be like characters will be talking and then all of a sudden you're in a mission and you don't know exactly like where you are or why you're doing what you're doing. Like it very much like it's just like boom, all of a sudden like it's like, okay, we have to go to this shop, and then you're just kind of like in the middle of a desert. Like, why?
Yeah.
Well, a little weird, but if you can ignore that and just play the game, and it is a really good one of those.
100%. For a while, I was in the same boat, Ben, where I had no idea why I was going through these encounters until I think I got to that shop, and then the main character mentioned that like, oh, I got to go fix my bike. I guess you don't have the parts. I guess I'll go over here to find parts. I was like, oh, right. We're fixing a motorcycle so we can get to another town.
They got motorcycles? They're like fantasy motorcycles?
It's fantasy motorcycles with like a barrier spell over it. Who knows what you could get?
All right. This is, what is this, Steam only right now?
It's on, or it's coming to Switch, I believe.
Okay.
I think Fate Tactics on Switch is the way to play that game. Like,
yeah.
I think that, I mean, there's not many games I wouldn't play on my Switch, but like anything like where you can kind of like sit and think about it for a while, like, yeah.
All right.
I would say maybe if you can wait.
It's also has a really good tile feel. And in a tactics game, that's very important.
Perhaps the
Into the Breach, 5 out of 5 tile feel.
Tile feel.
War Groove.
Oh, yeah.
An okay tile feel, but that's like almost a different style of tactics game.
Yeah, chat just reminded me that Wargroove has a pretty good strategy dog in it.
Oh, it does. It does.
Now that I think about it.
Fire Emblem Three Houses, if that had a dog, if it had like a student dog, that would have been game of the decade.
There's seriously not a dog in that entire game?
There's no...
There's a lot of cats around the map. Like,
Boo.
I'm
fine with cats.
The cats are cute. I don't even know if you can pet them. I played like probably 5 hours of that game, so I don't remember clearly.
Oh man, but Fire Emblem like Three Houses, terrible tile feel, and
Really?
I love that game.
What makes a good tile feel?
It needs like, you know, those like slidey tile puzzles where you gotta like put the numbers in order.
Okay.
It needs to resemble that, but virtually.
Oh, okay.
It needs to, like, the Fire Emblem's thing is like they draw out this map and then just slap a grid on top of it, where instead of like constructing a map out of a grid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I'm following you.
Like, it needs to feel satisfying to move 2 squares.
You want like a good snap?
Yeah, you need a good snap. You need a good heft to it.
Okay.
If the map also like shakes, that's like a plus. Like Disgaea, that field gets a little bit too hectic. Into the Breach, nice and solid. Also, if you can move the map around, like in Tactics Ogre,
Okay.
A plus.
Okay. Did you like a free form kind of moving, or more like a 90 degree, like a, you know?
You need solid 90 degrees.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fixed angles. Okay.
Yeah. Snap mapping. Is that what that's?
Yes, that is definitely exactly what snap map is.
Okay.
For sure. Somebody's keeping it alive. I swear to God, I went to Steam this morning to see what Fate Tactics was after you said you'd been playing it, and there are too many fucking games on Steam.
Yeah.
Like, I was going through the new releases, and it was just like game after game after game after, like, I don't know if people have nothing to do but finish their games and ship them on Steam right now. But, speaking of shipping games on Steam,
we'd like to announce, finally, Mine and Ben's game is coming out.
Whoa. Surprise announcement. What's your game? What would be your game? Workshop it right now.
Slam ball meets
breakfast.
Denny's Grand Slam Ball. It's a corporate tie-in game. You have to, it's 2 teams, and on either side behind the teams there is a big dinner or breakfast plate, and you have the ingredients spawn in the middle, and you have to get the ingredients, and different ingredients have different properties. Like bacon, you can't hold too long because it's sizzling, so you got to pass it around.
Okay, so like a lethal league component here.
Yeah, the eggs you have to be very delicate with. They would break,
yeah, sure.
you know, so you have to kind of like, it's kind of like pyre, where you're like moving it slowly across the field and trying to get it and compose a grand slam on the other team's plate.
But it's all ASMR.
What does it's all ASMR mean?
It's all ASMR.
Like the sound design's just all.
Yeah, it's just me and Jan going like.
How has nobody done that yet? How is there not? There has to be a game on Steam where all the sound effects are ASMR.
They're what, like search in Steam right now. Let's see what pops up.
As soon as you spoke that into existence, Brad,
there has to be
10 games popped up.
There has got to be an ASMR tag on Steam.
And one of them is
no
a
way.
hentai
There's
game.
Not. There's gotta be more than one.
I was gonna say
ASMR
one
hentai
isn't.
game. That's generous. One is no. There's gotta.
It's
be
also
one.
a visual novel game. Sorry.
That was pretty impressive. You guys really workshopped that down. Like,
I'm just hungry.
Yeah, okay. Would you?
I just like whispering.
Would you brave a Denny's right now? What do you think the scene is?
No.
No.
You think they're doing
Well, I
takeout?
wouldn't even do that.
You think
I'm
Denny's?
trying to support local, like right now, more than anything. But like, Denny's a slam burger does sound all right now.
Wait, do they make?
I've ordered so much Popeyes, like embarrassingly. Like that's been my go-to, like guilty order in food that's not local. Just Popeyes chicken sandwich.
That travels well though. That's a safe like pick up and go, right?
It's good. Yeah, it's always good.
Do they do a bucket there, or is that just a KFC thing?
They do a box.
Box. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's perhaps a little more classy.
It's like a nice little package instead of a bucket.
Last time I had Popeyes was on 420, and we got there and they were so low on chicken that we just said, and like we tried to order what we wanted to order and they didn't have it, and we said, can you just give us the rest?
So I was gonna say, like, what do you get if they don't
rest.
have the chicken at the chicken place? What else you?
Mashed potatoes.
They like just kind of threw like some tenders, some legs, just
Okay.
a bunch of stuff in a box. They were like, give us 25
Just
bucks.
surprise me. Just give me a box of whatever. Do they still do the sandwich?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they still do the
Is it?
sandwich.
Sandwich.
Is it like
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Is it like possible to get the sandwich now?
Oh totally.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's. I think it's like now it's like a mainstay on the menu. So now they just have a good supply.
Oh, now's the time.
It's-
Actually,
the hype is down.
Yeah.
But it's still good.
It's
so good.
Nobody's going out right now. Maybe I should.
It lives up to it, Brad.
All right.
It's really good. The spicy
I like
sauce they got on it. Oh
I
man.
like the Wendy's one better, but
What?
the Wendy's spicy
Oh my
chicken,
god, Ben.
best fast food sandwich in existence.
I strongly disagree.
Are you talking chicken sandwich or sandwich? Sandwich.
Sandwich.
That
I'm
is
not
a
counting
what?
burgers. I'm counting like anything that's not a burger.
Okay. Here's my dilemma. Last week I went to a McDonald's. I ordered a McChicken,
Ew.
but it tasted. Sorry, it's a weakness of mine. But it tasted like a fish fillet.
Ew, what?
Oh,
Like the worst situation.
And I was
That's
looking at
way
the,
like a
worse than the
nightmare.
opposite, where you order fish and you get chicken and be like, okay, but if you order chicken and get fish, I would be horrified.
Oh my
but
god.
I was looking at the patty and I couldn't tell.
Fish is not something you want to stumble into. You know,
Yeah,
like chicken. If you get some surprise chicken, it's like whatever. It's chicken. Like everything tastes like chicken. You know,
Sure.
it's inoffensive. But fish, unexpected fish.
Also,
no,
who
no.
orders the filet-o-fish? Why is that still on the menu?
I've never
Who
done
orders
Yo,
that?
when
I
it's
never
Fridays and it's the Lenten season and the Catholics out there can't eat meat, that's what they flock to.
They gotta get that filet-o-fish.
Yeah.
I knew it served a purpose. Oh man. Okay. I've completely forgotten my segue. So, Frog Fractions is on
Games.
Steam now.
Yes.
Frog Fractions Game of the Decade Edition.
Yeah. Which I guess is free. It's a free download.
Yeah.
The base
Is
game
it?
is a free download.
Okay. So yeah, I played Frog Fractions again. And you know, it's hard to talk about. That game is hard to talk about. I think what I want to say about Frog Fractions is if you have not played Frog Fractions, you should play Frog
Still play it.
Fractions. If you have played Frog Fractions, like I played it, back when it was blowing up back in the day, and I played it again now, and it was still fun. It was a little like there were some parts that I kind of had to look at a walkthrough for, and I was just like, I don't really want to like mess around and figure it out. Beat the whole thing within an hour, and I was like, okay, that was fun again. But I also noticed I had a code for the DLC, the hat DLC.
Yes, what is it? I should make sure
$8, I believe.
Get this
$8.
right. Yes, it's $8. It is called. Hold up.
Basically, there's a button, you click on it, and it puts a hat on your frog.
Yes. This is the Hop's iconic cap DLC.
Of course.
It's a hat.
Everyone knows and love Hop, his little kind of almost Rasta hat
Yes.
that he loves to wear. And again, I would say if you want to see a very fresh take on the original Frog Fractions, you should buy that DLC and put that hat on.
Okay. Huh. I feel like this is something we should talk around. Is that what I'm getting here?
Is it? I feel like
There's news stories out there of
Yeah,
what's
sure.
going on.
Like,
I mean, I didn't.
We wrote a news story this morning.
I love the original Frog Fractions, and I haven't gotten to try this amazing hat yet, and I kind of wish I hadn't read what it was, because it sounds
the
like
hat revolutionizes Frog Fractions.
it sounds like a lot. It sounds like a lot. Is it worth it? Is there a lot there?
How
much substance to the hat?
If you like Frog Fractions, if you're on board with the idea of Frog Fractions, if you trust the creator of Frog Fractions, it is worth it.
Okay.
If you've never been like a Frog Fraction person, this isn't going to change your mind. But it's a really nice looking hat.
Like,
it's iconic.
Here's the real question, and like this kind of just gives away sort of what Frog Fractions is about to some extent. But like, if you were blown away by it back then, which is what 2012, I think it was. Yeah, It's like 8 years ago. Is it just kind of more of that, or is it like commenting on that? Does that make sense? Like, is it aware of everything that's transpired in the last 8 years, and does it do now what Frog Fractions did then? Does that make sense?
The Frog Fractions hat DLC is the Frog Fractions of Frog Fractions games.
Okay, all right, that's pretty much what I needed to hear. Jan looks conflicted.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Ben, you've done a really good job today explaining very difficult things.
I know. I played these two. I didn't play any video games. I always watched virtual sports and put a hat on a frog.
Well, trust me, I can tell you from all the comments I got back in 2012 when I put Frog Fractions on my top 10 Game of the Year lists, it didn't count as a game.
What?
So
blasphemy.
You're right about that.
I recently
were very
looked
mad
back
that I
at
put
all of our Game of the Year older lists, and I was just like shaking my head sometimes. I'm like,
People were very upset that I put a Flash game on my top 10 that year. It turns out, but here we are. That's awesome. That's great. Also, I noticed that. Let me see if I can find it here. How did I get to that? Steam's storefront is a little bit confusing. Okay, if you click into the Hop's Iconic Cap DLC page, there's also a link for the Frog Fractions Cinematic Universe bundle.
What does that get you?
Which
Cool.
also so it includes the Iconic Cap DLC and Glitter Mitten Grove.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess is still Frog Fractions 2?
Yeah.
Does it still count as okay. So I understand this DLC is like Frog Fractions 4 is what he's saying. Is that?
I think he said 4 and 5.
Oh, and 5. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ambitious.
I mean, Frog Fractions 3 is still out there somewhere.
Apparently, the ARG leading up to Glitterman, whatever that not game is, that was Frog Fractions 2, and technically Frog Fractions 2 is 3.
Okay.
And then
Sure.
the DLC is 4 and 5.
Yes. This makes sense. This all makes sense.
Allegedly.
Death
Who
of the
knows?
author here. It's all Frog Fractions 9 to me. That's how I choose to see it. That's awesome. That's great that that's out there. And officially a video game now that you can download it on Steam.
It has achievements.
Now it counts. Oh, really?
Wait, I assume all Steam games have achievements, but I don't know actually.
I think they should, right? I feel like that's a given.
Probably.
Maybe
Probably.
it doesn't. I don't think it does actually.
Oh.
My bad.
Oh gosh, what else is going on? Katie, with Jeff out this week, I think you are our resident Call of Duty player, expert,
I finished off the
Critic-
battle pass.
Critic Gaslight.
weekend.
Wow, like maxed it.
Yeah, I've maxed out the past
Wow.
3 battle passes.
Jeez, Jesus. Like by playing or by like
Yes.
Jeff reminds us frequently that you can just sink a lot of money into that thing and unlock everything if you want.
Oh gosh, my audio just dropped out.
Oh,
Activision came for her. She revealed that you
go
can play it without buying.
we said too much. We said too much about Call of Duty.
She's gonna go show off and complete a whole nother battle pass right now.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
No worries.
Speed running battle passes. Caty McCarthy, go.
Yeah. So I'm so sorry about my internet.
No worries.
It keeps like stopping.
You know, we're all dealing with different limitations these days.
I don't know what's going on.
Ben, did you get that new router yet?
It's coming today, baby.
It's exciting.
Anyway, yeah. So I finished the latest battle pass because tomorrow, season 5, very exciting. They're bringing in a train to Verdansk, the Warzone map. There's gonna be a train going around like an Apex, basically.
I heard they're gonna blow up the stadium.
They're blowing up the stadium, or they're opening it up.
What does that mean?
And then the trailer shows like a literal like stadium, and then there's like advertisements for the upcoming Call of Duty championships on the side, which I found really funny.
Okay.
So advertising opportunities for Activision there. And yeah, it just, I'm excited. It seems like the biggest like content-wise season yet, and then there's all those rumors that they're gonna start teasing the next Call of Duty. So
that's right. That keeps coming up every couple weeks. It's like we are so far past the point where they would have announced the new Call of Duty
so weird.
at this point. Like, what is going on?
It's such a weird thing.
A Doritos campaign.
It got leaked by there's a logo for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War on a Doritos bag.
Black Ops Cold War.
You're not
Black
serious.
Ops Cold War.
Please tell. I thought the whole point of Black Ops was it was all Cold War. Wasn't that? They just decided to spell it out this time. Like,
I
what?
wonder if it's like, like Modern Warfare was like reinventing or rebooting Modern Warfare. Like, is this rebooting Black Ops? But also, why not just call it Call of Duty Cold War? I don't understand why.
Because the Black Ops branding is too strong.
Yeah, I mean that's really it. But I don't know. I play Call of Duty a lot. It's pretty much replaced all my socializing, given the state of things. So I have like a Call of Duty group text.
Right. It's reached chat room status.
Yeah, it's like we like fire off the signal, like logging on, and then everyone logs on, and then we play for like 5 hours straight.
Are you pretty much all Warzone or?
We used to be Warzone, and then we pivoted to standard multiplayer because our group got too big. So now we can't. It's usually when people start logging off, we'll jump on the Warzone because it's like, okay, now we have 4 people, we can do Warzone. So yeah, I play Call of Duty like every night. It's weird because I usually get into Call of Duty for a few months when it comes out, but this is the first one I've stuck with for like almost a year now, like literally, which is strange. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the new battle pass since I maxed this recent one out again.
How much work is that? Like
it's a lot of hours.
Sounds like a lot.
It's a lot of hours, and I don't do the boosted one because you can get like the $10 one or the 25, and it starts you off with like tier 25.
Right, like
20 or something.
Jeff always mentions like he might just go sink a bunch of money into it to finish it out before the season, but like
honestly, coming from Dota, it sounds appealing to have a battle pass that you can max out by playing. Like the Dota one, you can't even get like a quarter of the way into it by playing.
Wait, has somebody done the math? Like, is it literally impossible?
It's like, yeah, like it's so ridiculously inflated at this point. Like you need to spend like, I looked it up. I did the math the other day, and it's like $120 gets you the first Arcana and the thing out of like 4.
Wait, which one is that? Is that the Skeleton King one?
No,
what?
That's the Lady Anti-Mage, I think.
Okay, is that an Arcana?
Oh, sorry, Persona. It's a very different distinction. Different
from an Arcana. Great. So you can't just buy the. I'm sorry, I did not mean to turn this into Dota monetization chat, but you can't just buy the Arcanas anymore, like flat out. Like you have to level the battle pass.
The one Arcana that comes out every year or 2 or whatever you can buy, but the Personas, which are battle pass exclusive, you cannot buy those, and that'll be stuff like Kid Invoker last year, or Lady Anti-Mage, or there's like a Pudge one where he's a big stuffed doll with like stuffing coming out of him, and I don't know.
So wait, who's the actual Arcana this time?
We don't know yet because the Arcana vote is still happening.
Shit. So does that mean the Skeleton
King? Can you buy tiers? Like
can,
okay. So you
you're
can buy it,
encouraged to.
Oh,
And they have
certainly.
sales
Yes.
for like, bundles where they just like get double levels for
Yeah,
half
but they're
price.
very coy about those sales. You know, you can only buy like one bundle at a time, and they're like, we decided you could have 2 this time.
Yeah.
I should take a look at that battle pass at some point. We should check.
It's
in.
pretty to look at.
We
It's a
should
very
check
nice
in.
looking battle
We should
pass.
check in
Brett,
on that thing at some
You
point.
don't have to. I stopped playing Dota.
Wait, I didn't know.
I
that
did
you-
like 1 or 2 games.
Did I miss?
And then I just like
Did
I told
did-
looked myself in the mirror and was like, I don't like who I'm becoming.
Did I miss my
I'm proud
window?
of you.
I mean, if-
there were talks taking place behind the scenes. Not to pull,
Fox.
not to pull back the curtain a little bit, but
I'm playing less than ever too, and it
believe-
feels great.
I believe a channel on Slack appeared at one point.
But if we want to fire it up, I'll do it.
Oh, yep, there it is. Defense of the Ancients. It's the name of this Slack channel that we haven't talked in about 6 weeks. At one point, there was some talk of Dota.
But if we want to do it for like 3 of us plus 2 more people,
How do you-
Katie, if you want in,
Yeah.
Yeah, Katie.
I
go-
do not
go
play
aboard.
MOBAs. I've tried,
Dota crew together.
and then people in the text chat just like are mean to me because I'm not good. So I'm like, this isn't even worth it. If you're not gonna let me learn, you're just gonna be mean to me. Why
Yeah,
would
no,
I
I'm
try?
also garbage.
I'll be mean to both of you, but I won't be that mean.
It's like a lighthearted mean.
Yeah,
You're like a fitness instructor, right?
exactly.
Tough
Like
love.
I want to rile you up so you perform better,
right.
not put you
Okay.
down.
Okay.
Get the blood pumping. You think we can expense levels on the battle pass? I mean, we need to do the research.
Okay,
right?
wait, hold on, I'm launching it right now.
Oh boy. All right. I think that's just about it for games. Did anybody play Grounded at all? That launched
No.
last week.
No.
You guys got into that after
Yeah,
Sea
we
Beast.
we did Sea Beast last week, which is Sea of Thieves. Myself, Vinny, Abby, and Alex, and that game was on fire again, which it is about half the time that we play it at this point. So instead of dealing with server issues, we fired up Grounded on a lark, and then proceeded to finish Grounded in about an hour.
Oh,
It's in early access, so it's not surprising, I guess. But yeah, we literally hit a big pop-up that was like, that's it, you've seen all the story content in Grounded after about an hour, which was a little bit surprising. But I mean, that thing's on Game Pass, so
okay.
pretty low commitment to
Is it
check it
fun?
out. It's cool.
You're all like little.
Okay,
children,
I
right?
started to just tell you, I started to just make a comparison that would tell you instantly exactly what kind of game it is. But we tried that during the stream, and Abby uttered some of the most heartbreaking words I have ever heard in my life. So I don't know if it's going to play in here. The words were, "Who is Rick Moranis?"
Oh,
I mean,
Abby.
that's a distinctly Abby thing.
Okay, all right.
Is it though?
I feel like just treading
No,
on.
yeah. I mean, any time I try and reference a movie, I feel like Abby has not heard of it.
Okay,
But
that
she watches
okay.
So many.
Okay. I was like ready to just lie down in a freshly dug grave when I heard that.
He's coming back, right, for
Yes.
another Honey I
Yes,
Shrunk
he is.
the
He is like
Kids?
briefly coming out of retirement for something. I don't know what it is, but
I think it's another
okay.
Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
okay,
Why?
that makes me feel a little bit. Yes, okay, that was a very long-winded way of saying this is basically Honey I Shrunk the Kids, the survival game.
Fun.
You want to hear something embarrassing? I've not seen Honey I Shrunk the Kids all the way through, but I've watched the TV show multiple times every
That's-
episode.
No, okay, I would believe that. Probably of an age where you had access to that TV show more than you
Yeah,
did.
it was
the
on
movie.
Disney Channel all the time.
That's fair. Okay. I was very concerned that we were getting to a point where Rick Moranis was falling out of living memory. So.
Like, when did he dip out of Hollywood? It was
I think like right after that, right? He did like the
Yeah.
2, and then this is definitely not the first time Rick Moranis has come up on this podcast. But,
Spaceballs is pre-Honey I
oh
Shrunk
yeah,
the
yes,
Kids, right?
that was like
Yeah.
mid '80s.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know that he did much after. Let's see. He was in Parenthood. Let's see. Yeah, late '90s. He
Okay.
was on an episode of Sesame Street.
I mean, who hasn't been at this point?
Well, that's fair.
True.
That's fair. Yeah. I think that was kind of. He was in the Flintstones. Anyway, sorry, I'll stop.
Wait, those
Maybe
live
she'd
action Flintstones? Was he in those?
Yeah, he was
Yeah, he
Barney.
He played
Was he
Barney.
Barney? Oh
Yes.
my god, I haven't seen those movies in a really long time, but I loved Viva Rock Vegas as a kid. We had the McDonald's complete cup collection.
Yeah, those were tight. Those were tight.
Anyway, Grounded's all right. It's cool. Like it nails that feel pretty well. It's like there's 30-foot tall blades of grass all over the place, and the spiders are absolutely horrendous and like completely
scary.
It's fucking vicious, man. Like the spiders destroy you.
How involved and open is the like building stuff?
So we didn't get super deep into that stuff. I think once we hit the end of the story content, we were like, I'm gonna tap out of this for now, and we still had not gone all the way up the tech tree, but we were getting to the point where it was like we were building lean-tos and like sleeping bag type, like sleeping facility type stuff. There's like kind of Minecraft style, like sleep here and set your spawn point, stuff like that. There's like structures to build to enable more tech tree stuff. Like it seems like it's less Minecraft and more, I don't know, like what's one of those games but with a very rigid tech tree? You know what I mean?
Fallout 76.
It's not about like
Rust.
Kinda, I guess. Like it's not about deforming the landscape at all or like clearing a space and like making structures. It's not super creative. It's more like here's the tech tree we made. Now build everything on it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
There's almost some like quasi RPG type stuff in there because there's a ton of armor and like clothing you can build out of bug parts, and they all have like stats and buffs on them and stuff. It's like, if I build this ant mandible helmet, I get like +2 to my hunger meter or whatever, stuff like that. So it's cool. It's got promise.
Neat.
But there's not a ton there right now. Like I said, I mean, there's a bunch of like there's some backstory about like you might have been part of some, like you don't know why you were shrunk down, but there's maybe some mad scientist type experiments going on. There's some like tiny cyber lab type stuff you come upon, and I don't know. It's pretty thin so far, but it's got some promise. So might check back in on that at some point. Also, it opens with a teen selector. Like when you pick your character, like the heading,
Choose your team.
the heading at the top of the screen when you pick your character is teen selector. It's got a sense of humor, actually. Like I should mention, like in the menu when you just hit escape at the bottom, it's the options at the bottom of the escape menu are quit and super quit, which obviously is quit to desktop, but it's just got charm, like it's got a little bit of that stuff going on. So it seems cool. And with that, that's all I got for games, unless y'all got anything else.
Jan, did you?
He said he didn't want to talk about it.
Oh, I missed that.
He did. Well, he said, I believe his exact words were, "We don't have to talk about it," which could be interpreted as an invitation to ask him about it.
I just want to say congratulations, man. It's everyone.
Thanks, buddy.
Everyone remembers their first time beating Bloodborne, and I'm glad yours was a success.
It's I didn't think I'd get there. I thought I'd wind up having to explore more, and having played that game completely on stream, I don't understand any of the story. And I wound up watching 12 or so lore videos afterwards, and just wondering where any of that was while I was playing it, whether or not I was just like running through the whole dang thing. I don't know. I kind of want to do something with my time with Bloodborne to put a cap on it. Because Brad, if I were to ask you to kind of distill the story of Bloodborne in 5 or so sentences.
Oh God, I don't know that I could complete one sentence at this point. I mean, granted, it's been a while, but oh God, there's werewolves. It's a bunch of racist townspeople.
Yep.
Eyes on the inside.
Yep.
Okay, that's a giant spider.
Pretty much it. And blood.
Rom, I think. Yes, that's about all I got.
I have a question from y'all because y'all have played more From games than I have. Is the story always like that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing is they bury it in weird
item description.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is, I think, part of why those people love those games.
Yeah.
It's a small part of it, but people like the weird, obscured narrative to them because it's usually deeper than it seems.
There is a mystique around those games for sure. I've read Miyazaki, the kind of main creative force on those games. He's basically trying to capture the feeling of being able to speak some English as a child, but not fluently, and trying to read like English fantasy novels and like getting parts of the story, but not fully understanding everything. And he was almost like, I hope that was a real quote and I didn't just dream that up, like it's apocryphal or something. I'm pretty sure I've read something along those lines before, that he was like trying to communicate that feeling of like sort of being able to understand the story, but with a bunch of holes in it.
Well, then they nailed it.
Yeah. Sure.
Great job.
Yeah.
What's next?
Oh gosh, I don't want to jump into Sekiro because every Monday after our Monday meeting, I'm just filled with like a sense of dread and anxiety of having to play Bloodborne.
Sekiro's so good though. It's better than Bloodborne.
I've heard that.
So good.
I've seen Ben play Sekiro and I want to be very curious.
Do you think they're directly comparable though? Like I bounced off Sekiro pretty hard when
It's not the same. It's not an
Sekiro,
RPG.
It's so much. It feels like so much more technical from what I remember of it.
Yeah.
It's so much more demanding about like timing windows and stuff like that.
I love it. It's so good. It's like
It's really good.
What I don't like about the From games, you can very much grind and get better in that way and kind of like cheese your way through things. And you can definitely cheese your way in some fights in Sekiro, but it definitely feels more like you got to be good.
Yeah,
you got to be paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my one question, and this will probably determine whether or not I play Sekiro. Do I have to worry about stuff like healing items like blood vials?
So I had one section in that game where I felt like I didn't have enough blood vial equivalents, and I had to grind for like 20 minutes. But it only really happened that one time.
But it does have that thing, right? Like it does have your Estus flask or your blood.
Yeah, it has
like
the symbols. I forget what they're called, but like the things that let you use your prosthetics.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Sekiro, like somebody will probably pick this statement apart, but Sekiro feels like they went really far in the direction of making you play the way they wanted you to play. I mean, granted, you've got like distraction items and like some stealth tools, you know, it's not totally rigid, but like you kind of have to get good at what they want you to do to finish that game, right? Where like Dark Souls games are at the complete opposite end of the spectrum of like any build works, you know, like you can do any stupid ass like magic user and shield build that you come up with if you spec it right, you know what I mean? Like they went from like some more creative style of play to a more like exacting and like precise, demanding style. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be a samurai, right?
I guess so.
Yeah. If it's not Sekiro, I've thought very hard about getting into Monster Hunter.
Oh, man,
because
that is a totally
well,
totally
like
other rabbit hole.
in like Bloodborne, like I couldn't take it anymore. I had to summon some members of the community for like a boss fight, and it was just really fun tackling like a giant thing with other people. And you know, like Monster Hunter is pretty much that, right? So I thought like, oh god, what if we hunt a Barith together and we were all just wailing away with hammers?
It's also less stressful and like more just like I'm gonna beat the shit out of this thing and have a great time. Any sort of clue on what kind of weapon you would like to use?
When I was playing it on PS4, I was really into the hammer.
Ooh, good.
But then the hunting horn looks like a lot of dumb fun for like the role I like to play in a party.
Do not start with the charge blade. That's all I can say. Unless you want to burn out on that game very fast.
But what if we all started together again, Brad?
Oh God, don't even say that.
What if Jason's Monster Hunter Minute becomes a whole podcast?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
All right. Congratulations, Jan. That's
thank you.
Quite a journey you've been on. Actually, before we go, did you do any of the DLC stuff? Did you
Yeah.
have that version?
Yeah. Beat all the bosses in the DLC.
Really?
Minus the 2 shark men in the well. But yeah. God, it's probably like up there in terms of like best DLC I've played through.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I never got super deep into that stuff, but it seemed pretty well made.
The orphan fight, infuriating. And I want to tackle it again solo dolo, but it's good. It's great. If you haven't played through it.
Give yourself a breather.
Yeah.
Also, you got to save your strength for those chalice dungeons now.
Oh no, I don't want to do them.
Dude, that takes so fucking long.
Oh god.
I got the platinum in that game, and the chalice dungeons are a grind. There's a bunch of unique stuff in there though. Like I will say, like there's a bunch of unique enemies and bosses that you have not seen before in those dungeons. If you want to.
I
If you
can't,
truly
Brett.
want to say that you beat Bloodborne,
I need
Yeah.
to finally wake up.
You just need to platinum it, and then you're done.
that's right.
I can't pull a Timur and just have it on all the time.
I have faith in you.
Okay.
All right, let's go to our first break, shall we? And we'll come back in just a second and talk about some news. We'll see you in a minute. All right, we're back with the news, and in looking over the latest headlines during the break, make sure we didn't miss anything late breaking. Happened to be on Kotaku and glanced into the sidebar where they link stories from their sister sites, such as Lifehacker,
Okay.
where they are warning of a massive salmonella outbreak via onions. apparently.
Onions. Yeah.
Onions?
Which
No.
Onions are bad.
throw out your onions is what they're saying,
Oh.
which is
God
pretty awesome.
damn it.
'cause
Look
we
who's
just-
laughing now. Old Jeff Gersten gets the last laugh on all of us.
We bought a shitload of onions last week and proceeded to cook with them. Much
Great.
of which is still in the fridge, including a piece of quiche that I had for breakfast this morning. also,
How long
also
is
they
salmonella poisoning?
the story includes this wonderful tidbit. Salmonella sometimes takes a few days after ingestion to start making you feel sick. So
Cool.
yeah, if you
Fun.
got any onions,
Pennsylvania onions.
it'll probably be fine. Also, these were sourced from California, so we're probably all
Okay.
gonna
all
die.
fucked.
Yeah. So, rest of
Wait,
yes.
salmonella is killed by cooking, so if you already ate the onion but you cooked it first, you'll probably be okay.
Oh, great. Okay. Well.
So it's only raw onions, the
Okay.
only bad form of onion.
Okay. Raw onions have their place.
In the trash.
Ah.
Or in your mouth if you want salmonella, apparently. So
Wow.
there you go.
On a hot dog, let's say. All right. That's enough of my freaking out. Let's move on to the video game news, shall we? Pretty straightforward stuff this week. I feel like we're still in that window where anything about a next-gen console has to be discussed, no matter how mundane. So here we go. Phil Spencer has lended some credibility to the idea that they will have an event this month about stuff.
Great. I
Sounds
love
like-
announcements
the
of
rumor-
announcements.
well, all he said was, typically vague executive talk of, I'm encouraged to be able to talk more about blah, 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 plans. Should be August. I think August will have more to say, is his quote. But the rumor, if you remember the rumor going around a few weeks ago, was that they'll have like a hardware thing in August.
Right.
That's where they potentially will announce the cheaper Lockhart box, stuff like that. So sounds like they do have something like that in the works. What y'all got any expectations for that? What are your hopes and dreams out of another Xbox hardware stream?
I mean, at this point, if it's not price and date, I do not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to know the prices of these things because,
Yeah.
it seems like both are doing two versions. Like PlayStation said they're doing the discless and the disc version. I imagine Series X will be the same thing. But I just wanted the price. Like, which one's gonna be cheaper?
Yeah, I
Like-
this has to be that, just because they got to start taking pre-orders for these things at some point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think probably pricing details will be guaranteed, but
Lockhart is just the code name, right? That's not
yes,
like an
yes.
official.
It's
Okay.
just like Scarlet is the code name for the Series X, and the rumors are they'll be calling it the Series S, which is the least surprising thing ever, based on the way their stuff has been going. So yeah. Also, he gave that interview to iJustine, which I feel like is just to
Sure.
She friends with iCarly?
just-
Who's
just
iJustine?
shut down this podcast.
She's part of the iCarly
I
verse.
feel like that we officially are old news at this point.
Wasn't iJustine the person that was like streaming their life 24/7, or am I imagining?
That was Lonely
That.
Girl 13.
Okay.
Wait, wasn't that Justin TV? Really dating myself here.
I don't know. Is iJustine part of Justin TV?
I don't think I
That
don't know.
Poseidon guy was like one of those 24/7 streamers.
Oh,
I
boy.
don't really.
know.
Justin TV
It's a
didn't-
whole thing.
Yeah. What's that?
Justin TV is not a thing anymore.
No, I mean Justin TV became Twitch
Yeah.
a zillion years ago. Anyway, yeah, stay tuned for probably some more Xbox hardware stuff. in the next, what is today?
Do you think they'd be
Say next
hyping it
3
up
weeks?
a little bit more and building more excitement if they were going to announce price? The way like that Phil Spencer kind of just went off, said like, "Hey, we're gonna have something this month," leads me to
Yeah.
believe.
I don't think you necessarily want to hype up a price
Yeah.
point too much, because if it's over what most people are expecting, then your backlash is going to be even stronger.
Yes,
That's fair.
And by all accounts, it sounds like these prices are going to be more than people want them to be.
Final predict. I guess this is like our last chance, maybe to.
Yeah, getting there.
I think $599 for the X
Series
and
X, sure, I could see it.
Yeah.
$450 for the S.
I feel like the S. I feel like $399 tops for the S. Like you got to get that thing into some ballpark that people feel comfortable if they're price conscious. I feel like you can't go over $399 and get that. I would almost say if they can swing it like $299 for that thing,
Oh, that would be.
or $350, $349.
I could see 350 and like maybe bundling in a month or 2 months.
Yeah, like get you some Game Pass or
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be really smart if they start bundling Game Pass.
And then they're going to keep making the Xbox One S, like that's going to remain part of the product line. So like I feel like that thing drops to like a 150 or even a 99, like that's a 3-tiered, put that Lockhart right in the middle somewhere. I don't know. I'm going to say $499 for the PS5. Maybe.
Really?
Maybe for the disc one.
Okay.
That might be conservative. I was gonna say like $449 for the disc-free one. Maybe, I don't know, man.
I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were just ballparking prices, and he said like I'd pay up to $800 for it, and then I looked at him, it's like
800.
just get a PC at that
Oh
point.
my god.
Be careful, Jan. You do not want to recommend people get a PC. They will get very mad. I did that on the Beastcast.
Why?
No.
Man, wow. It's totally taking me back to the 90s when like the 3DO was $700 and Neo Geo games were $250 a piece.
Wow.
I don't know how good you have it. Yeah, anyway, that sounds like that's in the works pretty soon. This got leaked and then confirmed by Microsoft that the Halo Infinite multiplayer is going to be free to play, which seems
Interesting.
kind of
to me.
wild. Where is current Call of Duty at? Did they split Warzone off into a free to play thing?
Warzone's free to play.
Okay.
And then they didn't do like paid season passes this year, which is cool. So like all the maps are free if you have Modern Warfare for multiplayer. Basically the only monetization is just Battle Pass and those very expensive skins in the store.
Sure. Sounds like this will have Battle Pass too, also completely unsurprising. But yeah, I mean, if the biggest shooter on the market is doing free to play, then Halo also doing it seems like maybe less of a big surprise. But I don't really think anybody has any sense of what that multiplayer looks like, though, right?
Right. I was about to ask, is this like all of the multiplayer modes, or is it just like a battle royale equivalent, or just team deathmatch?
This was kind of unclear. They're like one of the storefronts like briefly ran a tag, and they tag stuff on their stores with different stuff, and they ran like a battle royale tag on it briefly. So there might be something like that in there, but I feel like they've been fairly vague about what this multiplayer is actually going to be. But they did say it'll run at 120 frames a second on the Series X. Anybody?
That's exciting.
Does Halo multiplayer like curry the same favor that it used to? I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think like there's still that generation of gamers outside of the like adjacent to the mainstream that played Halo in college every day and are just like psyched for the new Halo, like the Call of Duty gamer. Katie, I'm not trying to slam you.
Yeah, I guess there's probably an appetite for that style of multiplayer done really well and in like an expanded setting. Like if that open world stuff carries over to the multiplayer as kind of robustly as it could, like I could see it. I don't know. It seems like the narrative around Halo is that it's maybe not quite what it used to be in general, but
when did Halo 5 come out?
2015, I want to say.
Yeah.
Sounds right. And then,
so I feel like that has something to do with it. It's been
yes, 2015
and then, years since a mainline Halo game.
Right. Yeah, it has been a bit. Also, there's rumors going around, or if you don't know, they still require Xbox Live Gold to play free-to-play multiplayer games on the Xbox, like Fortnite and stuff like that. There are rumors about that policy finally going away.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Console, so like, it's kind of it kind of makes sense to not put a free-to-play game behind a paywall if you want people to play it and spend money on it.
Isn't Gold getting rolled into Game Pass
So
anyway?
that's kind of like, yes, I mean, it seems like that's the way it's going. Like, they haven't quite taken that step yet, but they did stop selling the 12-month Gold subscriptions, which, like, why would you do that? Why would you take away the option that everybody wants unless you're going to give them another better option? So yeah, seems like Game Pass is going to be the thing. They're also workshopping taking the Xbox name off of Game Pass. I don't know if you saw this on Twitter. Like, Game Pass Twitter account has been like weirdly twee. I don't know if you've seen that.
There's a lot of shit posting going on.
Yes, there's
Have they gone rogue?
Yes, there's quite a bit of internet humor coming out of that Twitter account lately. But yeah, they dropped the Xbox name from, or they're talking about dropping the Xbox name from Game Pass on that account. So that's happening. And then I guess they just, like this morning, started detailing a little bit more about what Game Pass Ultimate and xCloud are going to look like.
Okay.
This just happened a couple hours ago. I just caught it during the break, but it looks like September 15th is when the official rollout for xCloud will be on Android. Still nothing for iOS, it looks like. Which, I don't know if that gets into that territory like Valve ran into with the Steam stuff, where like Apple doesn't want people selling a service on their service, you know, that they don't get a cut of.
Right.
Which is a gigantic bummer to me.
Incredibly, yeah. It's weird though, because at least on like, I haven't tried it on a phone, but like the Steam experience on an iPad, like doing the remote play stuff isn't bad.
Yeah.
So I wonder.
I think what did Valve just ended up taking out the stuff that Apple objected to, so they could get it back on there. If I'm not mistaken, like they removed the ability to spend money through the app. If I'm not mistaken.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe they're doing that work. Maybe Microsoft is doing that work to try to get an iOS version up. I just want something where my girlfriend can stream Ooblets to her iPad, so I can have the TV at some point. But they put out a list of, like I said, I just had a chance to skim this. They put out a partial list of the games that will be playable on xCloud when it launches.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty standard. It's like 3 Gears games, like 5 Halo games, Killer Instinct, Minecraft Dungeons, Outer Worlds, Quantum Break. Anybody?
I would like to try Quantum Break.
Okay. Well, now you can do so without downloading 80 gigabytes of video files.
Sounds great.
Rise, Son of Rome.
Okay. All right.
It's like pretty much all of their first-party stuff from this generation. It looks like it's going to be on there. The recent Wasteland games, Yakuza Kiwami 2.
Oh, yeah.
Both Ori games. F1 2019 is like a decent lineup, it looks like. So September 15th is the date for that if you have Game Pass Ultimate. All right. Let's see. On to some Sony stuff. They put out a blog. On the PlayStation blog, they put up a post talking about accessories for the PS4 and how they're going to work or not with the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what we've got. Well, whatever. I'll just skip to the part that people actually care about. So they're saying the DualShock 4 controller is going to technically work on a PS5, but not for PS5 games. So you'll be able to play PS4 games that are backwards compatibility and run on a PS5 with a PS4 controller, but otherwise you will need to buy new controllers for new games, which not great to me next to what Microsoft is doing, which is just saying like, hey, anything you got works, just go for it, whatever.
That's definitely ideal, but I don't understand why people were so upset by that. I just kind of assumed that was going to be the case even before the announcement.
I guess it does fit with like Sony's rhetoric about like, oh, we believe in generations. We want to make a clean break and make new stuff for new hardware, which like, yes, it fits in with that. But like, what does the new controller have on it that would necessitate this kind of split? Like a microphone?
The neat little side lights.
Yeah, sure. Wait, does that thing have side lights? Oh, Katie, I think we're not getting your microphone. Sorry, I didn't realize. Uh-oh. Nope. Live internet.
You
folks.
can, you can come back. It's okay.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just, like I said, I assumed that it wouldn't be the case. Obviously, the console will come with one controller. I really only see this being a problem if you wanted to locally play PS4 multiplayer games on your PS5, right?
Yeah, like if you get a, like, say, a 4-player local game for PS5, like, it would be nice if you could hook up old controllers to just, like, for some random, like, I don't know, let's say they make Overcooked 5 for the PS5 or something.
Right.
It's like, hey, I
Okay.
don't really want to buy 4 DualSenses just to play this, like, once with my friends when they come over, It would be nice if you could use, some kind of fallback compatibility mode to use your old stuff, but here we are. That's the route that they have gone, so... Katie, you're back. I don't know if we can do a quick mic check. Oh, nope, still nothing. Maybe can you pantomime your contributions? Get a whiteboard. We'll keep.
Wow, she just flipped the table around. Now she's
Katie, calm down.
breaking it.
Katie, put that sword down. What are you?
She's just swinging that PS4 controller around.
Anyway, they talk about some other stuff. Their wireless headsets that they put out for the PS4 will work with the PS5. Weirdly, they say specialty peripherals, officially licensed racing wheels, arcade sticks, and fight sticks will work with PS5 games and supported PS4 games. So, like,
that's a weird workaround,
right? Like the special controllers from the PS4 will work with PS5 games, but the regular controllers will not. Is what they're saying. Like, granted, that's some stuff that you might have sunk hundreds of dollars into, so I guess it's nicer that they're letting you do that. But
I guess that'd also be the case though with, like, PS4 controllers, because those aren't cheap by any means. It's like, is it $70, $80 a pop for a controller?
Well, you can get sales on them here and there, but
Okay.
yeah, like regular price, like $60 or so.
That part I understand of, like, you don't want to shell out for a new set of controllers when you have a bunch of existing PS4 ones. Yeah. But I don't know. I was kind of in the same boat with Ben of, like, you get one with a thing, right?
Well, yeah.
And if your friends get a PS5, just tell them to bring the controller over.
I mean, it is kind of an edge case. Also, like, who's going over to each other's houses anytime soon? So maybe not a thing. I don't know. Afraid to ask for a mic check, but Katie's back again.
Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Success.
So the problem, I think my headphones are dying. I've discovered. So I tried using my AirPods, and I think that was just messing with the audio in a not fun way. So I will deal with this weird headphone cutting out.
Y'all have a lot of stuff just die out of nowhere, like equipment just up and failing constantly the last couple.
I feel like, yeah, it's the quarantine. I think is cursed because I've just been having so many more. Like, I've always had a remote podcast because I host podcasts not for work, and I've been having way more technical difficulties in the past few months than usual, and I have no idea why. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Almost like all of these cheap consumer electronics are not built to last, but not built to be used 8 hours a day, I guess. They're saying the PlayStation Move controller will work for PSVR games.
Okay, that's something
Why?
I wish would not work with PS5
right.
games.
They need to make new ones or figure something else out.
Yes, that is the one case where I'm like, maybe you should flush these things and start over.
Yeah, they're so bad.
Yeah, it's pretty rotten. And the PS4 camera also, because the PS4 VR works, so they were saying that the old camera will come over. It will need an adapter, and they said that they will tell people how to get one of those at some point. So yeah, like kind of a weird mishmash of compatibility compared to the way Microsoft is just being like, hey, if you got it, it'll work. It's fine. It'll be fine.
That's kind of I mean, this is like a distillation of both of their weird philosophies to this console in a way, where like Microsoft is very much like, it's a big open atmosphere and games and just do whatever.
Totally
and Sony
chill,
is like,
bro.
PS4, fuck it. PS5,
Right.
you get one, and you play PlayStation games on it with a PS5 controller.
Yes. I feel like there's a bit of a hoity-toity attitude around the PS5. This thing is this high-end equipment, and Xbox is just like, whatever. You got an 8-year-old grimy controller, just plug it in, it'll be fine.
Is your Xbox 360 controller like green at this point? It'll still work.
Speaking of kind of surprising PlayStation policies, Spider-Man is going to be exclusive to the PlayStation version of the Crystal Dynamics Avengers game. Which,
if it ever That game's not real.
Eh,
I'm still not convinced the Avengers.
It's
the video
coming out
game is
soon,
real.
isn't it?
Pretty
It's
soon.
out like in September,
Yeah,
right?
let me
Not
pull,
real.
First week of
let
September.
me pull up the date. I want to say it's like
It's a fake game.
Uh,
It's a psyop.
Psyops?
I mean, I feel like I still don't understand what that game is. You know, like I know it's like a Destiny, like
Yeah.
I watched
with
a guided
Avengers?
presentation at E3, and I still cannot tell you what that game.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
that-
just seems like a weird fit for Avengers. Like
That-
I would think they would go the AAA adventure game route.
I mean, did you guys see that screenshot
Yes.
with like
yes.
4 currencies and 2 different like crafting
Yeah,
materials?
that was really
Oh,
making
no.
the
like a
rounds on
million
Twitter.
numbers.
It is
Oh,
some
God.
serious like loot lust, just like
I don't want a loot game out of Avengers. I feel like that's like not.
gear
I
on
wanna-
top of
I- like-
gear
I don't
on top of
know.
crafting.
I want
Thor
that
has at
Avengers
least 2
arcade
hammers.
game.
Does he?
He has like the.
I thought he only had the one. I
hammer.
thought that was his whole thing. Was he's got the one hammer and that's all he needs.
But then he broke it, and then he needed like an axe or something.
Oh, okay. I'm very up to date on my Marvel lore. Clearly.
Okay.
But Ben, you were saying you want the arcade game?
Yeah, remember that Avengers arcade game where you could play as like Iron Man and Quicksilver and
Oh,
you
is
just
that
fought
the-
the Red Skull?
Side-scrolling one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want that, but in 2020, like an updated version. Just give me that, and I'm good.
Is that just Ultimate Alliance in a way? Kind of.
Yeah.
I've never played those games, so I don't really know, honestly.
It's like you're talking about the side-scrolling 2D one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
the game.
yeah.
I always played Hawkeye
Yeah.
because he had a bow and arrow. I don't know. I feel like I expected more outrage over this. Like Spider-Man is not exactly like your second string Marvel character.
Totally.
It seems like kind of a big thing to hold back, but I don't know. Here we are.
I mean, Sony's got that deal, right? They own Spider-Man.
That's like they used his font on the PlayStation 3. This started years ago. How deep does this rabbit hole go?
Did they announce anything for other console exclusives?
Yeah,
Oh.
Spawn and Heihachi are coming to the Xbox.
Yes. Yes. Xbox will be getting
Spawn
Spawn.
would be sick.
Nintendo will be getting Yoda. Yes. Who's Stadia getting?
We'll check in 5
Batman.
months later.
Yes. Okay.
Justine.
I guess Spider-Man's gonna be free. It's not gonna be paid DLC. He will be coming in at some point after launch. Yeah, it's not even like a timed exclusive or whatever. That just sounds like a permanent thing, which is kind of weird. But here
Yeah,
we are.
I played a demo of that game during like
That's
PAX
right. I forgot
last year.
you did play that.
And it's I like the little bit of it until they got into the pitch of like how hardcore how loot heavy it'll be, which it just doesn't feel completely right for a Marvel game.
It's so weird. It's just such a weird. It feels like a bunch of like executive types kind of looked at what the market's trending
Yes.
toward, and they're like, let's just put that on Avengers. The kids like that.
Like it's totally the same thing that happened to like Gears and Forza and like every multiplayer game ever over the last couple of years. It's just that this game took forever to be finished.
My
they're just now
suspicion-
getting to market with it.
And like there's a like best equipment button that you can just hit, and my suspicion is most players will probably be able to beat the core game without engaging too much in the systems by just like clicking that best loot button, and then there will be harder strikes or raids or whatever for the more hardcore audience.
Yeah, but the way they were saying when you actually want to link up with other players is you can't have more of the same hero. So you can't have
Right.
a full team full of Hulks, which, if you're speccing or if you're playing the single player focused on only playing through it as like Thor, and then suddenly you join in with friends and your homie also mained Thor, it's kind of a bummer that, you can't just both be Thor, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially if you have so much loot that's focused on one character.
I wonder if you're getting like, maybe they've gone over this, but like, I wonder if there's just like character specific. Obviously, there's going to be character specific drops, but then I wonder if there's also just like a loot pool that any hero can use, so you can kind of be like, okay, we have a Hulk, I'm gonna go Hawkeye, I guess. Like, I have some backup stuff I can throw on him.
Be Stealth Hulk or
Is
something.
Hawkeye the I guess character? It's like, all right, fine.
The ranged like bow character. It's like, okay, I guess I can like have a secondary bow character. I feel like.
It's just a commentary on Jeremy Renner's relative popularity.
Ever since he destroyed
The app.
Yeah,
Yeah.
since the app, man.
never been the same.
Nope.
Never been the same. I miss
Chat,
that app.
yeah. Chat pointed out, like, literally moments ago, they just posted some more stuff to the PlayStation blog. There are a bunch of other PlayStation exclusive trinkets, 30-day exclusive access to legendary outfits, emotes, and takedowns. PS Plus members get free bundle with rare outfits, nameplate, 100 coins for each hero, including Ms. Marvel at launch. I don't know if, I guess Sony's got some co-marketing deal probably with this at this point, if they're getting this much stuff, but...
Yeah, who's making the Iron Man VR game? Is that
that's
Sony? Or
Sony. Well, Camouflage developed it, but yes, that Sony put that out. That came out actually. I feel like it really just sort of came out, like it really flew under the radar somehow. But that's just kind of the world we're in right now. I think it came out late June. I want to say.
Wow,
it's been out for like a month now. I threw this in here just to say that we covered it, but then I had a different thought about it. They were doing a state of play on Thursday where they said, hey, no PS5 news. Don't expect any big announcements on that front. They are saying a focus on upcoming PS4 and PSVR games. But they also say a few quick check-ins on third-party and indie games from June's PS5 showcase, which means we might get more bug snacks.
Oh.
There might be more bug snacks on Thursday.
Oh, it might be time to eat.
Like we talked about this in our planning meeting yesterday. We're like, should we do something with that? It's like, no, PS5 news. We should probably, it's probably fine. But then I realized there might be more bug snacks. So keep an eye out, I suppose.
I don't know, ever since the Microsoft thing, my bug snacks hype is like, it's still high, but I think the gunk has surpassed it.
I was about to say the gunk is like also looks very cool. And I love the Steamroll game, so I'm like excited for them to do something new. And it looks cool, has a great name.
Yeah.
Yes,
that is maybe the best name I've heard in a very long time. Let's see here. We talked about there's the ongoing rumors about Warner Brothers gaming division being sold off. A 3 weeks ago, it was Microsoft that was rumored to be the kind of primary suitor there. Now it looks like EA is. I mean, EA was mentioned then. I think it was like EA, Take-Two, and I forget. There was one other one, like list of potential names. But they had an earnings call where obviously people asked them about that specific rumor, and they wouldn't comment on that specifically, but it was very much a kind of coy, like, we believe in acquiring great talent and blah blah blah. We've never been more interested in bringing new talent into the fold type stuff. So it was very much like, maybe no definitive news there, but certainly did not rule out the possibility. If I had to pick between Microsoft and EA taking control of Mortal Kombat, I don't think that's a very difficult choice. I don't know. You tell me.
Get Master Chief in Mortal Kombat. That sounds like a cool possibility.
Yeah, but just also EA's track record of the way they treat their acquisitions.
Hey, not Visceral. Who's doing Apex?
Respawn's been doing okay. Like
they've gotten a lot of support.
Yeah.
Jedi, sure. Apex, obviously.
Yes.
Fallen Order was fun.
Yeah, they've done pretty well. No,
I wasn't a fan, but
Luke
sure. But I like Apex, so
yes, Apex is quite good.
Apex is great.
They actually, they cited this was the COO in this earnings call talking about this stuff, but he cited Respawn specifically as an example of like, hey, here's a team that we bought and brought in, and they did cool stuff. But also, like, Vince Zampella has moved up out of that organization largely at this point, and like some of their
isn't he head of DICE now?
Yeah, he's
doing both.
Yeah, he's overseeing.
Which just seems like a lot.
Like
doing two studios at once. Like, okay,
yeah, he's over like
you have the time.
A whole division of the company practically, and like some of their kind of head creatives left to start their own studio a little while back. So like obviously after an acquisition, nothing lasts forever. I hope this does not happen. I really. No.
I'm with you.
I don't want to see another Realm at EA. Sorry. All right. We talked about, I had Frog Fractions on the list. We talked about that already. That's on Steam now. I I guess there's really nothing left but talk about Konami's incredibly overpriced cheese graters. Anybody? Konami's back in the game, making PCs. They look like discarded Mac Pro designs. Like
it's the prototypes from
yeah.
Joni Ives basement.
Holy shit, man! These things are.
Oh well, a new PC. Maybe they can get in at like a nice affordable price.
Right. Yeah. Obviously,
There's a lot of pre-built PCs are more popular than they ever have been.
Right. There's a real opportunity for somebody who can offer an extraordinary value in the market.
Yeah.
Such as no, I'm not even going to try. Like, these things are insanely overpriced. In addition to looking ugly as sin, this is really kind of everything you would expect from Konami making an effort like this.
So the look is kind of growing on me.
Yeah.
I don't mind the look so much. It's the specs that are really
it is embarrassingly overpriced. I mean, we're talking like kind of last gen hardware for
the C700 Plus is $3,200.
$3,200 PC that has a Core i7 9700 in it, which is both not the current gen of Intel CPU, also not even the top of the line of that old generation. It's got a 2070 Super in it, which is like pretty mid-tier and also is like on the verge of being discontinued. Like, this is completely insane. Like, I don't know who they are kidding with this shit.
See, now I'm wondering, because we were talking about this before the Bombcast started, and how Konami has its like, it's in like pachinko pockets, right?
Yeah, health clubs,
and stuff. So now I'm thinking, like, what if they're just trying to sell these pre-built PCs to like internet cafes in Asia and just like kind of just completely capitalize on that market,
fully wholesale?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't think they're buying like high-end stuff at net cafes, though. I think they're buying like bottom of the barrel stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any other like pack-in stuff with these PCs?
Because
you get a copy of Boktai for the Game Boy Advance.
Wait, you're saying they have solar panels on them? All right, I might be into this then. Yeah, I don't know. It's ridiculous. I continue to have no idea what kind of company Konami is actually trying to be. But
everything.
Sure,
that's kind of
everything and nothing at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Jack of all trades.
Working on a Metal Gear Solid movie, apparently. Konami.
Is he out there talking about it?
I was just on their Wikipedia article, and it said that of all their umbrella brands, one of them was Konami Entertainment that is working on a Metal Gear movie, allegedly.
Sure.
Wait, isn't the guy who did Kong supposed to do that or something? He signed on for like the script a while ago.
Oh, yes. Kong,
Peter Jackson?
Kong Skull Island director
that guy.
Jordan Vogt
He has
Roberts?
a big beard.
Okay.
That's all I know about him.
That's
And he did Kong Skull Island.
That's the first thing I look for in my action directors. Giant beard.
He has a giant beard.
That's good stuff. Yeah, they put out some concept art, supposedly, from a potential Metal Gear movie a couple months ago.
No. That's recent.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Konami should just sell Metal Gear to somebody who understands.
No, who understands Metal Gear? And do not say Hideo Kojima. Because
well,
I
think we all know someone personally that has a very...
really?
Yeah, so
a firm grasp.
incredibly thorough, top to bottom understanding
of the nuance.
Every layer, yes.
Just imagine what Dan would do with it.
What was that? Did you see this thing going around from Kojima about Death Stranding, like predicting the current quarantine situation? Like,
it totally did.
Right, but
sad way.
If you're the guy that made the game, you don't come out and say that.
Oh no.
Maybe just sit back and let everybody think that you are like an incredible visionary, and don't actually like come out and take credit for it. I made it about 3 lines into that thing, so I don't know exactly what he said, but I couldn't. I just couldn't. All right, that's all I got for news. It was a pretty slow week, I think. It's kind of in the dog days of summer here, I guess. I don't know. Is it summer? Is it still
I don't know.
Is it still
it doesn't feel like it.
Is it still 2020?
Foggy outside. Who knows?
I don't know what year it is anymore. I guess consoles are still coming out this year.
It's August.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
So they say.
That weird thing of like
that realization that's August is just weird to me.
Also, like the way that people are still like putting on airs like things are normal. Like I got a press release this morning about like the QuakeCon sale.
Oh,
It's like, QuakeCon is almost here, and we're launching our sale for blah blah. It's like, yes, there is an event called PAX. Yes, there is an event called QuakeCon. I don't know if it's, I don't know.
Yeah, it's all digital.
Yeah,
but-
GDC is happening.
It's
right?
happening now.
yes, like
There's
GDC.
talks happening now.
It's just very weird to me that all these names are still being thrown around with the way things are right now.
I love trying to get food by the office and then having it be completely swarmed location.
I always go to this one Starbucks during GDC week, like that's kind of tucked away behind Yerba Buena, because no one ever goes to the Starbucks because it's kind of hidden. So it's great to just sneak into that one because everywhere else is just slammed and it's impossible.
That's how you know you're an old hand at covering the trade show, is when
Exactly.
you've got
You
all
know
the,
where
you've got
to
all
go.
the secret spots mapped out.
Yeah.
Just don't tell
I mean,
anybody.
most have closed, sadly,
Yeah.
in San Francisco, but that Starbucks is still there.
Did you see
Secret.
CPK filed for bankruptcy?
What?
That's insane to me.
No.
That's
Tomatoes and then
Oh.
CPK is a 1-2 punch.
They have
institution.
a really good chicken pizza, and I don't like chicken pizza usually. That's
Tragic.
sad.
Tragic. Who was the other
That's
one?
very-
Sweet tomatoes.
Sweet
with
tomatoes, I'm
bacon.
still not over. I haven't recovered.
I've only ever went once, and it was with y'all.
yeah, for our Thanksgiving.
But I was so hyped on it.
Yeah, and that's like every Thanksgiving we would all go to Sweet Tomatoes, like our friend group, in the East Bay, because like everyone's home or whatever, and it was always fun. And we did it for probably like 5-6 years in a row, solid. And this year, I mean, anyway, we wouldn't be able to go, but like now we will never do it again, and that's so sad to me.
Yes,
It's tragic.
it certainly is.
Rest in peace, Sweet Tomatoes.
Yes.
I liked Fresh Choice better. I'm sorry.
What?
Ooh,
Oh my
Fresh
God,
Choice
Jan.
It is better.
I'm just gonna assume these are like salads.
Salad
They're
bar
salad bars.
places.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if the one
do you think
Fresh
Nick-
Choice is still operating.
No, it's gone.
Oh no.
What?
Isn't there
If you're
one
talking
Daly
about the
City?
no, it's been gone.
Man,
It's been gone? Oh,
It's
that's
been
the only one I
replaced
know
with a
of.
Black Bear Diner.
Oh.
where are we gonna get $15 salads?
Yeah.
I don't
Endless.
know.
Oh, you can get a $20 salad near work.
Yeah, how do you think Mixed Greens is doing? You think they're still?
Brad, we do not have a sponsorship deal with Nick. We cannot bring them up on this podcast.
fair.
We
That's-
talked to you about this.
It's a fair point. I'm sorry, they are not going to bring free salads to my house, no matter how hard I try.
Sweet Greens though is alive and well. There you can get your salads. That's catered
All right,
by.
that's it for the news. We got to go to break. It's no free advertising on this podcast. We'll be right back with some emails. We'll see you in just a minute. Welcome back. It is time for some emails. Who's excited? Show
Yay.
everybody.
I am.
I've never done this before.
extraordinary amount of enthusiasm for the emails. It's my favorite part of the show. Thank you.
I
Yeah, I need to bring the music
honestly,
back.
yeah.
I dropped the music because it's just one too many things to try to juggle when you're hosting and also trying to run the stream at the same time. But
That's why I can't get excited about the emails anymore. That
No.
song.
No
is-
song.
I could play it. I could play it right now, but you wouldn't be able to hear it.
I can't even hear it.
I don't have a good way to get it to
Well,
you.
let's all play it then.
What if I just sent you the file? And we
I'll
all
hit
click play
play
at the same time.
Okay, on 48, ready?
Hang on.
You at home can play the email game too.
Hold up. Just all right. Well, now it's a whole thing. Just give me a second. I don't know where it is.
Okay.
There's so many
forget
files.
it. I'm gonna sing my own email song. Emails, it's the mails on the internet.
I've got the new.
Emails, you gotta send them in. Bombcast at giantbomb.com.
And you said you weren't excited.
Now I'm excited.
I found the email music, but you've already. I think you've covered that base already.
Why get new music when we can get Ben to do it live?
That's right.
Mhm.
This time he's doing it live. All right. Bombcast at giantbomb.com. That's the address. First email is from Robbie in Akron. I'm going to guess the one in Ohio. Advanced Warfare's press F to pay respects has become a gigantic cultural touchstone. Non-gaming audiences recognize F as a proper response to someone taking a loss or being embarrassed. I'd assume most have no idea of the origins of F. Have there ever been any other video game phrases, sayings, or idioms that have completely penetrated the mainstream like F.
GG.
Think so?
Yeah.
You think it's there?
Yeah.
First of all, I didn't actually think F was like that as widespread as he's saying. Is it outside of like Twitch streams and stuff at this point?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Somebody's like, you'll watch a live stream and it shuts down. Everyone types F in the chat. Like, yeah, I think F is like really the one that stands out. I think GG's people still are like, oh, like you mean like a video game thing?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
GG is extremely esports to me, and I don't know that it's gone super far beyond that. I want to know when this went from press X to press F, because I feel like the first like year or so it was press X to pay respects, right? Like, wasn't that the original screenshot that went around from the PS4 version? And then at some point it transitioned to F, and I don't know when that happened.
I don't know.
I actually don't know. I always saw F, or like I always heard F. Like F pay respects.
Maybe I'm wrong. Somebody's got to ask the important questions here. Okay?
Somebody needs to hunt this down.
Yes.
I'm trying to think because, like, you know, there's like, does like owned or pwned, like, is that? It's not really like, it's still so gamey.
I mean, there's like super cheesy shit about like fucking leveling up or whatever that you would hear from people in the 90s, but I don't know. I can't think of anything else on the level of. Yeah, I got nothing.
I've seen people just throw in like the Konami code randomly.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yes, that one's up there, I would say. Sure.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
People just say noob.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah. If you're new to a hobby, perhaps.
Yes. All right. Elijah in Pennsylvania. My bathroom is carpeted. It's the fucking worst. I knew this one would get a strong reaction.
Yeah. I seriously was like, ever since I told that story.
Oh wait, is this following on from something?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed out.
I had talked about how my house right out of college, and still in college, was fully carpeted, including the bathroom and kitchen.
The kitchen?
Yeah.
Dude, that might be worse than the bathroom.
I talked to them recently. Excuse me. I talked to them recently, and they said they pulled it out. They ripped it up from the bathroom and the kitchen. Thank God, the people that are still living there. But
that's insane.
Yeah.
I feel like there's way more potential for spills in the kitchen, but if a spill happens in the bathroom, it's way worse.
Exactly what I said last week. It's totally yes.
Either way, though, that's a bad scene. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Ugh.
That's the house. I don't know if I've ever told this story, but while we were living there, the internet went down one day, and I called Comcast, and Comcast was like, we haven't serviced that building in 2 years. What are you talking about? And so we called the landlord, who didn't speak much English, so we had to we had to go through a third party, but he basically told us, like, don't call Comcast, call my friend. And this guy showed up in a Comcast truck, but not like, but I don't want to say like having tattoos disqualifies you from having a job, but he was legitimately face covered, arms covered. Like, I swear to God, he had a teardrop tattoo. He was just like,
he's getting his life back together, Ben. Give him a chance.
I don't want to judge him, but he walked where the story turned for me was he walks in with a modem, he hooks it up, he turns to me and he says, "Don't ever call Comcast again." In his Comcast truck.
What was he wearing? Was he wearing like
just like a t-shirt and jeans?
Okay. Did you get your internet fixed? What happened?
Yeah, we got the internet back, so that was nice, and we never called Comcast again. We just called that guy, and he showed up sometimes to fix it.
Okay. I mean, Comcast uses contractors. Like a lot of their field technicians are not technically Comcast employees, so he could have been. Maybe he was moonlighting. Just doing a little work on the side. I don't know. Can you steal cable internet like you used to be able to steal cable TV? I don't know.
That's what I was wondering, because I'm like, wow, they must have figured something out. Like, how do I figure out what they figured out?
Man, it's wild. You got to get in on that action. Let's see. Rosin from Norway It's been 11 years since Demon's Souls released, and there have been innumerable games following in its footsteps since then. Besides From Software's own action titles, which ones stood out to you? So, like, anything outside of the Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro type.
I see a lot of folks talking about Salt and Sanctuary.
Okay.
Liking that a lot.
That's not a bad example. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of fell off of that after a few hours, but it was like probably the best effort to translate that stuff into 2D, to translate that formula into a 2D game. That worked really well.
Somebody in chat said Remnant, which I'm really
okay.
big on.
Sure. Like when I first read this email, I was struggling to even come up with many examples, but I totally forgot, like, Remnant totally is one of those, isn't it?
I really liked that Pixel Souls. It was called something like that, or like it was very brief. There was only 4 bosses. I really wish I could remember the name of it.
Titan Souls, was it?
Was it Titan
Souls?
Souls?
Was it an overhead game?
Yeah.
That sounds like Titan Souls.
Yeah, it was Titan Souls. I like Titan Souls.
Okay. Yeah, like my mind when I read this went straight to like, God, what was that? Lords of the Fallen, was that the name of the game that came out like shortly after Dark Souls? That was kind of just Dark Souls, and then they did the Surge, which is like kind of just Dark Souls except sci-fi. Like,
oh, the Surge is cool.
Surge is not bad.
You can dismember specific parts.
It's got ideas. It's doing its own thing a little bit, but yeah, like Remnant, stuff like Remnant is a good pull because that's like Dark Souls but another genre. Not just Dark Souls but kind of a slightly different setting. Did you keep up with Remnant? Like, I know they kept putting stuff out for that.
I went back in to try to finish it before the DLC hit, and it was around the time my last computer was exploding.
Okay.
And I haven't checked back in since, but even single player, it's still fun.
I was so impressed with that game early on, but I feel like the randomly generated levels kind of killed it for me after a while, just because the level design just gets pretty generic at some point. A ton of people in chat keep saying Hollow Knight, which I still intend to play at some point in my lifetime, I guess, but does that fit?
You lose your currency when you die and you have to go get it.
It's like elements of it.
Okay. All right. I'll accept that. Ashen just came up in the chat also. Ashen is not a bad game. That's got some cool stuff going on.
Oh, yeah, Ashen.
It's kind of one of those, but it's got a pretty unique art style.
I just since it was brought up, I'm really excited for Silksong, the Hollow Knight follow-up, because I didn't love original Hollow Knight, and if they just change a couple of really small things, I feel like I want to be wowed by Hollow Knight. Like, I want to see what everyone else sees in it, and I'm really looking forward to this new one.
What are the knobs they need to turn?
I didn't like the map system.
I was about to say the map system sucks. Like, that's really what bar, because I love like Metroidvania type games.
What is the deal?
The bad
like
map
system. It doesn't auto map for you. Is that what it is? Like, you have to.
It doesn't auto map until you find the person selling the map, and there's like queues to find them and stuff. And apparently, like, whenever we bring this up, there's always the same 3 comments. That I was like, it's way easier.
It has already begun. Well, they're being pretty polite about it, but.
Yeah. But I didn't love like the way the platforming actually felt. Like the jumping, I thought was just, there was something slightly off about it. I'd have to play it again to kind of to articulate it better, but I just remember being put off a little bit.
All right, next email is from Kyle in Colorado. Does Paper Mario take place in a parallel universe? Is there a Mario MCU or multiverse that we are unaware of?
100%.
Parallel to what? To the actual Mario timeline?
Yeah.
Or
the core Mario reality.
I ran a poll on Twitter asking if Paper Mario is Mario.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I think they're separate, right?
Paper Mario a different dude from Mario?
So the results from 3,400 votes, same guy, 48%, different guys, 51%.
That sounds definitive to me.
52. So it's pretty close. I think they're different.
I think they're different also.
I think they're different. They can't be the same.
Why not?
I feel like there's like 3D. There's 3D Mario, there's 2D Mario, and then there's Paper Mario. There's three dimensions.
3 Marios?
Yes. In my head, there are 3 Marios.
Wait,
Let's go deeper.
wait.
There's also a Baby Mario.
Oh, that's
you're
true.
right.
There is Baby
Baby
Mario.
is
But that's also
2D Mario.
That's also 2D Mario. But that's like different timelines.
Which Mario is the one who teaches typing?
That's
Oh,
the-
good question.
Oh, wouldn't that'd have to be Paper Mario, wouldn't it?
But then there's also like
There's
Mario.
Dr. Mario.
That's
Mario
true.
movie.
Mm.
It's Dr. Mario, right? Dr. Mario is not. No, Dr. Mario is not Mario because they're both in Smash.
Oh, it's true.
Have you ever seen Mario and Dr. Mario in the same place at the same time? No, I didn't think so.
No.
Final
Call
Destination.
it Smash, I guess.
Is Dr. Mario a different universe where Mario decided to be a doctor versus a plumber?
Apparently, in an interview that Miyamoto gave to Dan, he like said that that he's fraudulent. He's like doesn't have a medical degree, and it's just like he just thought it'd be fun to start being a doctor.
I'm assuming this is like in the game.
I think
game,
it too would be fun to be a doctor.
This is in the Game Informer era, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, for a second I thought you meant he interviewed Miyamoto on his Twitch channel.
Oh, you
last
don't
week or
remember when
something.
Miyamoto came to the office and chatted with Dan?
Got a lot of Mario questions this week, actually. I don't know what you guys were up to last week, but Mario emails came flooding in.
Oh, I wonder if it's tied into the Nintendo leaks from last
sure.
week. And
Yes.
Okay.
Here's one from Paolo. Is Mario single? He's been rescuing Peach for like 30 years now. Surely by now their relationship has an implied exclusivity clause, right?
Well, you could say the same thing about Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy, but I think Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog broke up.
Also, Miss Piggy isn't constantly being kidnapped.
It's true.
That's
Like I
right.
feel like Peach, like Mario's job is to protect Peach, and he fails a couple times a year.
Yeah.
I feel like she would get
Regular
tired.
basis,
He
yeah.
really is falling down on the job, isn't he?
You think he got family zoned?
Families.
Yo, it's the worst.
Go on.
Well, you know, like what if Peach just sees him, is like, oh, you're such a good
You're like a brother to
little
me.
brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, well,
And then,
this
like,
would be
actually-
friend zoning.
I was gonna say.
Why family zone? It's like grosser to me. Like, what?
You're gonna get talk zoned before it's long.
It's even more hurtful. Is it? Yeah. Like, has it ever even been established that they are in any kind of relationship? I don't think so.
Yeah, and like the most we ever see is she like kisses him,
Right.
and that could be just like a little thank you peck.
But yeah.
Yeah, I
it's-
think Rory has kissed me on the cheek.
I think Rory's kissed me on the mouth.
Well, you know, friends.
Yeah, it always seemed like the kind of kiss that you give your liberator, not your
Sure.
not your significant other. Let's say. Also, is Mario even human? We never even found a consensus on that question, did we?
Yeah,
Think so? You'd fall in the.
sure.
Okay.
I mean, are you asking that to figure out if they have genitalia?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
wasn't
sure.
that
It's
like
an open.
debunked, right? Like
It's
an
an
Odyssey.
it's an open-ended question, but you know, I feel like New Donk City raised more questions than it answered. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like
It's
what's
true.
Mario and Pauline's situation? You know, like it maybe because they were originally the pairing, right? And then Princess Peach came along later.
Oh, man, poor Pauline.
Hey, she's in charge of a whole. She's a mayor of a city
That's
now.
fair.
She-
That's a good
she
point.
made
Yeah, you know what?
career-
You know what? She did fine for herself. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Mhm.
She didn't need him.
Exactly.
Let's see here. Oh, I had more Mario emails. This is the weirdest one. It's entitled 2 a.m. Mario question from JP in Seattle. When Mario dies, and he will, who will be the pallbearers at his funeral? Also, is he getting a 21 bullet bill salute?
It's just 6 toads.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
that's-
seems right.
That's probably the right answer.
And they'll carry him
Oh.
very fast.
Or
Also very low to the ground. It would be very cute.
they put him on one last Yoshi, and they send the Yoshi forward, and he gets to get kicked off of Yoshi one last time into the grave.
Honestly, that would be a kick-ass funeral.
That's yeah.
That would rule. Just
feel
watching like a
do they all-
coffin just be punted off of Yoshi as the Yoshi also dies
Do they
in a pit. Yeah, that's how it has to go.
shoot a bunch of flaming arrows at the Yoshi, just give him a Viking funeral?
Yeah.
Y'all see that
Fireballs.
picture of Yoshi riding a horse?
No.
It's
No.
fucked up.
What?
I don't like it.
It's from
It's
one
all-
of the Olympic Games, I think.
Yeah.
It shouldn't happen.
You know what? There's a couple more serious Mario emails. I'll just throw them in here. Forrest from Long Island. If Mario Maker 3 follows the same title pattern as the Jaws franchise, we should expect the ability to make 3D levels for Mario to explore in the next game. Is this a good idea? How would you envision a 3D Mario Maker to work? Would it be more like 3D World, or would it be more like the openness of Mario 64, Sunshine, and Odyssey? Would the third dimension be too much power? As even now, limiting creators to a 2D plane leads to some garbage levels.
I think it'd be real fun because the mobility that you can get down to in Odyssey is really neat with throwing the hat around. So that'd be cool. I don't think it would be executed particularly well.
Yeah, that I don't see them taking on something like this, but if they did, I would totally think it would be a 3D World situation, of like very regimented like camera angles, and like the levels are laid out in a rigid fashion, and it's a bunch of prefab parts that you're sticking together. Because like, how do you make a Mario 64 level with a controller? I cannot envision an interface unless it was like motion based somehow. If you were like literally like sculpting the level, I guess I could kind of see it.
Yeah, you lift up a hill with your Joy-Con,
Yeah, okay. All right.
smash it back down.
I don't think they ever would, because like not only that, excuse me, not only is like designing the levels seem hard from a design point of view, but you also don't have the differences between the 2D Mario games are pretty limited. So you can have that like these games all kind of, you lay them out similarly, and then the differences are like the enemy types and certain power-ups, but the differences between 3D Mario games are so different, so that like they'd have to create very unique tool sets for each of the different games. Like a 64 is way different than a Sunshine, which is way different than a Galaxy.
It's like you'd almost be locking levels to specific styles at that point instead of letting you swap around.
Yeah. Which they ended up rolling in, like with the was it New Super Mario Bros. One is like its own unique bubble.
I think that's right.
Somebody in the chat said something that like I think could theoretically totally work, but just like a Mario Galaxy Maker where you're just designing the worlds or something. Like rotate the world around.
Yeah, like just give you just here's an orb. Just stick a bunch of stuff on there. Yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah, you have a gravity slider to affect that.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, low grav instajib Mario. I don't know if I see another Mario Maker, honestly.
Yeah, I mean the last one didn't do well, right?
I don't know about sales numbers, but yeah, it just anecdotally it just feels like it sort of happened.
It died, yeah.
Even the people who were like super primed to love it kind of just were like, eh.
I don't know why, because it was like a better. I think it was really just the Wii U is just a better creation thing.
Yeah.
Like it was just
Interface.
more fun to make levels on that system. Like
also,
I really think that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, totally. Also, they failed to do a lot of the like discoverability stuff that they needed to do, right? Like they just botched the online stuff again, so it doesn't matter that they put like a single player in there if you can't do the thing you actually want to do with that thing. All right. Let's move on to some other topics. We kind of touched on this earlier, but Drew from Louisville, Kentucky. Adobe Flash support is set to expire at the end of this year, and over a decade's worth of web games will surely expire along with it. So how will you remember Flash games?
Ben and I will die on the same hill, I think.
Okay. Go on.
There's definitely, yes.
One of my all-time favorite Flash games is the Teen Titans fighting game. And man, it was so good. I remember purposely staying in on recess to use the computers with my homies and just play that game. So good.
Better go find that Swift and rip it and keep it safe while you still can.
The two that came to mind for me instantly were You Have to Burn the Rope, which I play once every couple of years, and Don't Shit Your Pants.
Yes. Yes. That one definitely came to mind instantly. What is Congregate still the place? Newgrounds, does Newgrounds still happen? I'm not sure. Like those are
I think Congregate is definitely
like those are pretty much the big repositories of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
It seems insane to me. I don't think he's totally serious here, but there is no way that stuff is just going to vanish, right?
I feel like I read about some archival thing is happening with a bunch of old Flash games, but I don't remember who or what. I definitely read something on that pretty recently.
That was a big reason that Homestar Runner started trying to swap all of its stuff off of Flash so it could save it, basically.
Yeah, I have to imagine the second this got announced that Flash support was going to be discontinued, that people immediately started going into archival mode.
Ooh, y'all remember Candy Stand?
No. Tell me about Candy Stand.
What is that?
Oh, man. Candy Stand Pool was the one. It was just like a Flash-based pool game. Like there was like Candy Stand, like it's like the candy company, I think. They just had a bunch of different Flash games online, and the pool version was the best one. The golf one was terrible.
Pool like billiards?
Yes, like billiards.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing an awful lot of golf on here, but
golf was whack.
I agree.
I was more of a Yahoo pool guy. Yahoo billiards, excuse me.
Oh, also, final shout outs in terms of Flash games. There was a Disney one where it was tied into Lilo and Stitch, and you were Experiment 625, and you just had to stack up sandwich ingredients for as high as you could.
Okay. Like a Burger Time kind of situation?
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just like a little yellow guy that looked like Winnie the Pooh trying to catch like loose lunch meats and cheeses. It was great.
Kind of sounds like the first online video game I ever played was Wheel of Fortune, but the second one I ever played was called Taco Joe, and you were like an assembly line guy, and you had to assemble these tacos and smash cockroaches. Good times. Brings me back to my huge ass iMac, just like free video games. And
did you have like the like the fruit flavor colored one?
Yeah,
like that era of iMac, the tangerine or grape or whatever the fuck. I will always be thankful to Flash for bringing us tower defense.
Yeah,
or at least like making tower defense popular, right?
Desktop tower defense. Oh, you were so good.
Yes. Let's see. Robert has a question from Quakertown, Pennsylvania. Long story short, I'll condense the email a little bit, but what game would you love to see get the Sonic Mania treatment? Or I guess he's really asking, like, what franchise? Sonic Mania is known for revisiting the Sonic franchise's roots as a pixel-based side-scrolling platformer. Since the style is now a creative choice rather than a restriction, the game has a high level of polish and fun, from the pixel art to the animations to just some fun mechanics like Sonic's Drop Dash. Things look and feel crisp, clean, and modern. So, actually, he gave an example, which I'm sure Jan will want to hear. To help clarify, here is a common example I hear: Pokemon Mania. It would return to old school sprites, include every region, and allow players to choose which region to start. Offer freedom in which order a player tackles the gems, perhaps even introducing some MMO aspects that something like Temtem seems to pull off well.
But that's not what Sonic Mania did.
No.
Sonic Mania was just like, let's make a good old Sonic game.
Well, right, but doesn't it kind of go beyond what you could have done in that style of Sonic game on that hardware back then? Like,
there was like some new abilities and stuff. Like there's like that dash thing, and there was like little small quality of life changes, but it was very much like we're gonna make a Sonic game in 2018, 2017.
Sure.
And did a good job with that. Like it was still super hard for no reason. Everything. So
mine would be Castlevania.
You mean Castlemania?
Oh, there we fucking go. Bloodstained showed that like I still have a spot in me that really wants to play old school Castlevania type games, and I mean, like I'm not even like a Symphony of the Night purist. Like I like a lot of the Game Boy ones. I probably like those more in a way. So like something like Circle of the Moon, but like updated to kind of a more modern twist. A big thing about Sonic Mania that was cool is they had tons of different characters that all played really differently.
Yeah.
So maybe you can choose your Belmont, and like they all have different abilities and stuff.
Okay. All right. I would go further. I think Castlevania is a good one. I would say a Castlevania 2 Mania.
Oh,
I would love to see a modern Castlevania 2 in like a post Dark Souls kind of world.
Yeah, you mean like filled with obscure weird
Yeah,
stuff?
like because that game, I mean, that game was the fucking prototypical example of like you have to go kneel on the exact right block for the right number of seconds to make the tornado appear or whatever, you know, like they kind of dabbled in that stuff. Way, you know, like arguably that's the shit that Dark Souls was trying to recapture, right? So
yeah.
I would love to see something like that. As much as I love those Metroid games or Metroid style games.
On the Mania tip, I really enjoyed those old Super Nintendo WWF wrestling games. I feel like a nice 2D one,
Okay.
not like Street Fighter 2D, but like, you know, there's planes, I guess, that you can go around the ring. I feel like that'd be neat.
Okay.
It would probably be better than whatever Abomination we're getting this year.
Sure. Yeah. Katie, you got any old favorites?
I mean, I feel like it would be cool to see Nintendo do like a straight up Super Mario Bros. Modern, but like, I mean, Super Mario Maker kind of does that with does it with the single player mode, but it would be cool to see them really tackle that in 2D, like advanced pixel art today.
Yeah.
I think that would be really neat because they do pretty much only do 3D games now. So it would be really cool to see them just flex and do, hey, here's Super Mario Bros. Whatever 4, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, like I never felt like the new Super Mario Brothers games really went for it like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're just kind of like crowd pleasing, mainstream, just like here's Mario, it's the graphics are 3D now, it's just Mario,
Yeah.
you know? Like they didn't really like those games didn't have that much ambition to me.
yeah.
Like the way that like a Mario Odyssey or a Galaxy does. Yeah, like to see them really go for it in 2D would be super cool. All right. Question from Asher. When in a pause menu of a game, do you prefer it to A, have no music, B, keep the music that was playing in game but make it quieter, C, have its own music made just for the menu?
No music.
Oh, really? Man, I want unique pause music everywhere. Bring back pause music.
I want the same music but softer, but I want it to make like a sound like the ch 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 ha
Yeah.
ha, ha from
Okay,
Street Fighter
all right,
2
that's not- That's a valid perspective for sure. I just want some lo-fi chill beats to pause to. Is all I'm saying. A lot of pause music was like very
Brad, why'd you say that out loud? That's perfect.
very down tempo and kind of ambient and chill. I have
I
have a rip. I have an MP3 around here somewhere. It's just like 15 minutes of the pause music from GTA 4, the Ballad of Gay Tony. It's like incredibly chill. I want more of that stuff.
What was the game recently that did like an 8 as you paused? It did like an 8-bit version of the song.
Oh, what was that?
Oh,
I know what you're talking about. Oh my god.
It's like last year, I think.
It's not. Oh no, this is not right.
What
It's
was
not
that?
not Cadence of Hyrule. They had 8-bit versions of the music, but that's not how they used it. I forget how they did it.
Oh, people are saying near.
How did
But
that
I'm
was
trying-
that was in the hacking. The hacking sequences had the 8-bit.
Yeah,
Had the chiptune and stuff in Nier.
That was a cool like
Okay,
dynamic
yeah,
transition
yeah,
too.
yeah.
When that
I
was
think-
happening.
Oh, Messenger. Well, no, that was time swapping. Yeah, it must have been Cadence. I must be thinking.
I think Cadence was like, what was it, like with the shopkeeper or the dungeons or something? It was like when you went in specific rooms that would change to that other arrangement or something. I gotta get that Cadence DLC.
Yeah, I'm
just-
looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait till it's all out and check it all out at the same time. Couple more emails. Here's one. Signed, a bored guy at work. I could use your take on this. Is a fear of heights different from a fear of outer space? If so, where is the line drawn?
Fear of heights, you're just looking down
Okay.
and you fear being like higher and higher versus the fear of space just being everything around
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Yes.
Sort
I,
of a fear of the void.
I would say that
Yeah.
the line is drawn exactly when you achieve a stable orbit, because then you can't fall anymore, so you don't have to worry about heights.
Yeah.
That's okay. We had an entirely too efficient answer to this question. This is not conducive to good podcasting. We gotta stretch this out. Just kidding. Let's see. Ramen. who quite literally says he signs his email ramen like the noodles from Oakville, Ontario. P.S. I get such a kick out of you guys talking about ramen noodles on the show. I love ramen too.
That's good.
Yeah, but
Good for you, ramen.
Yes.
I had instant ramen for the first time in a while. It's such a nostalgic like feeling. Just cooking a bowl full of top ramen is just very like. It reminds me of like being sick as a kid. My mom would do that. Such a nice like comfort. It's not like we've had good ramen. We've all had good ramen here in the Bay, but like it's a different beast. But there's something about.
Do you ever like dress up the cheap instant ramen?
Oh yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
Like crack
I
an
like
egg
doing
in
a
there or
soft
something?
boiled egg.
Yeah.
egg. Yeah, I've done like I did.
I
a
plop kimchi in
Yeah, maybe
sometimes.
throw some scallions in there or something.
My favorite was the fucking Papa John's garlic butter cups. Just a little bit of that in there.
Oh, what?
Oh yeah.
That sounds good though. I didn't think about that.
Here's
but
the
now I'm
real
like,
question
ooh.
though. Are you ever bold and confident enough in your ramen game that you just skip the flavor packet?
No, I've always wanted to though, because I've seen recipes where it's like cook it in vegetable
Right.
like broth,
Like-
and I'm like, maybe I'll do that one day.
You're actually cooking at that point, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But
Definitely reduced it. Like I'll be like, okay, I'll use
yeah,
a
I've
third of
reduced
the
it.
packet and some other stuff.
Yeah.
I've never gone completely without.
All right. Here's Ramen's question. Have any of you picked up any new cool or useful tech type objects since these unpredictable and trying times began? I recently got work to pay for a monitor arm, which has been a game changer for productivity and optimized relaxation time. I then got myself an Oculus Quest, and wow, that wireless VR streaming via virtual desktop is crazy impressive. I would love to hear about any of your cool new gadgets.
I got an exercise bike a couple weeks ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago, and I've never taken a spin class up until getting that bike because part of the membership is paying for live and on-demand spin classes, and I've never felt more empowered as a person while on that stupid bike. It just makes me want to keep coming back. Like some of the dumb things is just like it's just like the instructor just being like incredibly motivational and just saying like, hey, you got this, you showed up, you're here because you're here, and I'm happy for you to be here. And it's just like a wide variety of different instructors. Like one that I've taken recently is like he's super like duper alpha, and he comes off like very like brawlic. But he just always breaks it down. Says like, to my kings out there, we don't say I love you enough. I love you. On demand riders, look me in the screen, say I love you.
Damn.
And then like I'm out of breath, I'm sweating, and they're just like, I love you. I love you, man.
This is very life affirming, and I'm not even on the bike. This is like I'm absorbing it through.
Very
you.
positive and
It's
nice.
really great. And then like the dumb stretch that he does afterwards, it's always so great, and I love it. It's because like he'll say like, all right, y'all, take your negativity and then like just crunch it in front of you and then put it up to the sky and then just extend it out. All right, y'all, and then grab that positivity, bring it back in. Thank you for riding with me today. And I was like, oh wow, it's so dumb, and I love it.
That's me playing Ring Fit and you doing that for me.
I'll yell at you if you want to play Ring Fit. Like, just open up the Discord.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I will confess I have never heard the term brawlic before. I've added it to my vocabulary, so
God,
we're all
it's so
growing
dumb.
as people today.
Also, I've never like I was sweating so hard during one of their so some of the rides have different like themes for the music, and I went onto a Broadway one, and then I'd wound up sweating and crying at the same time because of the music selection. It was great.
Sometimes you just gotta let it all out. In every
That's my
respect.
input of something I've picked up.
Boy, that's my HDMI splitter is a pretty underwhelming.
Does it strip HDCP though?
Pretty underwhelming entry in this genre. After that, no, it does not.
It's so hard to find now.
Nor does it make me feel like I'm worth it. Unfortunately,
Brad, you're worth it.
Okay, thank you. I was gonna say, I mean, you're channeling some of that posy energy.
I hate it.
Maybe you've got,
I hate it so much.
Maybe you've got a future.
At a former place of employment, my boss was way too positive, and my like the the trio of our team was like the most cynical douchebag millennial group of people ever, but he was so fucking positive all the time that it wound up rubbing off. Oh, he has a rap album that's some just motivational shit.
I can't hate. It's he's trying to bring something good into the world.
I hate it. But
also, I would rather have overly positive than overly negative.
Sure. Also, chat points out, you've got the top knot. You're like halfway there already. So.
I know. I got so much workout gear.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be this person.
Just keep it in your back pocket.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
I can't. It
might come in handy someday. Let's see here. Last email? Yeah, let's call this last email. From Vino. What if Smash had fatalities? Well, see ya.
I don't want to see that.
No?
Yeah, no, what? No.
My friend.
Smash is like wholesome and nice and like not it. I don't consider that like violent like other fighting games. I don't consider it fighting in a way.
Off screen, and you don't. Yeah, it's all nice.
Wait, what do you think? What do the characters do when they're not fighting? You think they like hang out and go to tea together?
They hang out.
Or they have Olympics.
When they're not.
Yeah, they do have Olympics.
When they're not bashing each other in the face.
Yeah, just imagine though, like Yoshi, like sticking his tongue out, absorbing a guy, and then he spits out like a pile of bones.
Yeah, like 8 rib cages come out of his mouth, and then you're doing Smash fatalities. Okay, if not fatalities, what kind of Smash appropriate finishing move category would there be? Don't just say friendship. That's too easy.
I'm trying to think because I'm not too well versed in the other alities.
Okay, we got
like Injustice had pretty brutal finishing moves that didn't immediately look like they wound up in death.
You got your babality, your animality, your brutality.
Because there are final smashes, which are character specific, big super moves.
Mm-hmm. Can you only end a match with them?
No, you. I don't know much about it.
Build up I barely play Smash. It's you
have to get a certain item.
Yeah.
It'll be like Captain Falcon hits you with his blue Falcon or whatever, or the Mega Man summons all the other Mega Mans and they all shoot a Mega Man laser.
All right. I'm confident there's a way to do finishing moves in a Smash appropriate fashion. But
yeah, what about when it gets to 1-on-1 and then a new percentage meter starts building up?
Oh.
Then he was playing Sony PlayStation All-Stars, and no one wants that.
Do they have fatalities in that?
The whole game is just fatalities.
Oh, right. That had a weird battle system. I totally forgot about that game. Or because it's you built up a meter, right, with damage, and then that was the only way you could take players out was by doing that move. What a weird system.
What is Crash Bandicoot's finishing move?
It runs at the camera so fast that it destroys everyone around.
All right. That's going to do it for emails, unless you want me to read this one that just came in entitled Anime Girls and Premium Pricing.
Sure.
I didn't actually plan on reading it.
I'm an enthusiast.
Brad does not want to read it.
We'll read it and then we'll end the show. We won't even answer it.
It literally just came in less than an hour ago, and I have not.
The audience will have to answer.
You have to read it now.
I haven't screened it yet.
What premium pricing?
Okay, I was just on the PlayStation Store trying to acquire Fall Guys, and I came across the below game on the front page of the store. A Vita game with anime girls relationshipping for $64.99.
That's a lot of money.
Yes. It got me thinking about premium pricing, as has been discussed. Every game seemingly having a premium version, but it's usually 10 extra, or double or triple the amount of the game by itself. Not sure what the question is here.
I'm going to say it's worth it.
Would a Humble Bundle model with minimum pricing and tipping on top be a fair means by which developers get paid a bit more? That's not the worst question, actually.
tipping.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it depends on like the storefront, right? Like Steam takes a lot. Like Epic lets developers have more. I guess maybe I'm not understanding the question. Like, I don't know what Humble's percentage is.
This is what happens when I read an email sight unseen. I
I know
apologize.
that Logic devs were out there saying like, talking about like creating a Patreon.
Really?
Yeah, as a sort of
what's their thing? What do they make?
Pathologic and Pathologic 2.
That's the right.
As like they're like, because they raised their money off Kickstarter, and then basically we're like, well, we don't really know what to do next. Like, would people be interested in some sort of Patreon? And that could be a cool way because you can give like development updates and stuff like that along the route. I think that could be an interesting route for some indies to explore.
For
Yeah, that's
something,
what Kentucky Route Zero did. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the Kentucky Route Zero developers, they launched a Patreon, I think, last year, like ahead of this last act that came out this year. And I think it's successful. I don't know, but
it definitely makes sense for like ongoing servicey kind of games where you're gonna keep updating and adding stuff, and it's like open ended. But for like a kind of single player story driven thing, I don't know so much. Let's all.
Here's a question I have by an email that I just got.
No.
Do any of you still have Kickstarters open? Because I've had one.
You mean like
I've
one that?
Good question.
You mean something that you backed and never delivered?
Oh, I have one.
Kickstarters from like 2012 that I'm still getting email updates.
Wait,
What is it?
Maybe we have the same one.
Sorry, what is it?
Omo. Oh, sorry. The Omo Cat game or whatever, which I backed in 2011, 2012, a long time ago. I still have that like undelivered game.
What did you just give up at this point, or did you just consider that money just gone?
Money. I mean, I probably
still getting updates.
Like,
one of mine for a game called 24 Killers, and it's just like, hey, I did a couple new songs. Here they are.
I'm looking for. Sorry, Ben. What was yours?
20. Well, there's Barkley 2 and 24 Killers. But I've kind of resigned myself that Barkley 2 is not happening.
God, did that never come out?
No, because there was that whole thing. I think it was like early this year, where basically somebody was like, "Hey, development on this game is like got taken over by one guy, and it's also dead."
Huh?
And that one guy was like, "No, I'm still chugging along. Look at this."
Huh? Wow. All right. Well, hope springs eternal.
Yeah.
Just like Charles Barkley's jump shot. That's what I got. I don't know, man. We should probably stop this podcast now. That's it for emails. Podcast@giantbomb.com. Katie, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm sorry I had internet troubles throughout the episode, but
as technical difficulties go, that one was pretty mild. What are you up to these days? What do you want to? You got anything you want to pitch or direct people to?
You can find my work at USgamer.net. I'm on Twitter at YouMakeKaty, YUMECATY. I also co-host Bad End Podcast. And yeah, we do episodes every 2 weeks. Been doing that for 3+ years now. And yeah, we have a Patreon for that too. I don't know the Patreon name off the top of my head though. So, but yeah, that's all my stuff, I guess.
Cool. USgamer is a .net. What is that like?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so used to having to say the .net because I think everyone assumes .com.
Sure.
And yeah, it rolls off the tongue like just naturally at this point. So it's not something I think about. But
I miss .nets.
.net.
Yeah. They all got taken up, all the good ones. All right. That's going to do it for the podcast then this week. Thanks everybody for listening. Jeff's out, so obviously no after show this week. But presumably we'll be back to a pretty normal schedule next week. Chan's throwing his hands up in the air. I thought you were supposed to bring the positivity, man. This is
all right.
Too much uncertainty
I need everyone
from you.
Before we do the outro, everyone. All right, stick your arms straight out.
Okay.
Raise them slightly until we get a V. Right? This V, it's a victory for you.
Oh,
because you've done it.
Wow.
You won today.
You think the power was in us all along?
The whole damn time, Brad.
Man. All right. Well, let's go forth and be awesome, or whatever they say. All right. Thanks everybody for listening. Be back with another Giant Bombcast next week. We'll see you then. I'm going to fade to black now. Bye.